Hello everyone, welcome to Critical Critique Pause on Point. Today we're going to be doing another Interspecies Reviewers video, this time by a relatively small channel by the name of What the What.
We'll soon surpass him.
We'll soon surpass What the What, and so one day, within the next 10 years maybe, we will manage to decimate.
We just need to get a major endorsement from somebody who can also give us better internet. We need Elon Musk to sponsor our videos.
Yeah, Elon's got to sponsor us with some fiber. He's going to connect. We're going to create a network that connects our computers directly together.
I'll just get my Starlink satellite connection and
yeah, we'll get Starlink.
We'll reach each other through the stars.
Yeah,
we'll have a whole system set up so that we can look into the future and see bad takes.
Yeah. So I've watched this video, right? And I think it's going to be a very fun video to cover. Because what the What is a very interesting individual who has some very interesting opinions about the show and this drama that he's talking about here. So I guess without any further ado, let's see what the What has to say.
This show sucks. The jokes aren't
Bold
funny,
opening.
the premise is honestly done better in hentai and the schmacks, and the girls are not hot at all. And I didn't even watch this officially. I don't want to fucking watch 20 minutes of mid-animation and a black screen that says Unga Bunga, porn not found here. I watched this shit on Pornhub, bro. I could have been jacking off to something else with better writing and animation on there too. But I ended up having to watch this dumb bullshit. Fuck you. There, that's my thoughts on it. Goodbye.
So that was a fun video. What do you guys think of What the What take?
Well, the thing is
Unfortunately, we have 19 whole more minutes.
No, don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, Lo. You
No,
Don't spoil it.
well, I didn't know. I didn't watch it. I just took the link somebody gave to me and put it in. I'm not. I won't be held. I won't be held responsible.
So we need to work better on the whole thing where we get Ellie's. We manage to cover for Ellie while his internet is dying.
Yeah, a little bit. So let's.
So
talk
you said
about...
that this was supposed to be is this supposed to be like a joke video? Because I'm not familiar with this guy.
I don't think it's meant to be a joke video. I think he's taking this seriously.
Yeah, because if it was only a joke video, it wouldn't be 19 minutes. It's more of a I'm going to discuss specifically why I think this thing. Spoilers, it's 19 minutes. This guy doesn't just stop it here.
Yeah, the intro is very, as you said, very bold, right? He's come in with a very very, very, very strong opinion of the show about how bad it is, right?
And I just disagree with the point. If I'm going to be serious for a second, which I never do, of course, saying this, equating this to just watching porn, that's not what the show is about. The show is about not really as a parody, but just what if these fantasy beings had sex?
It's an exploration of a concept.
Yeah, in a comedic way.
Not everything with sex is necessary. Yeah, not everything with sex is necessarily pornographic in nature. It's not purely married to the idea.
There's also he does also realize that there are shows in Western media that focus on prostitution, right? I can't remember what show. It was the show. Was it a BBC show? It was a British show that starred that one chick who was in Doctor Who was the Doctor's companion once. There was I think it was the prostitute.
Look, he doesn't watch those, so they don't exist.
It was called the Escort Diaries or something. My point actually is more there are shows that explore maybe not the same themes, right? Because Interspecies Reviewers is tackling a very specific, idea and concept, but the concept of having a show based around prostitution and the exploration of that profession is not a new concept, right?
There's that web novel, science light novel, Isekai go to another world and become a sex worker.
Yeah.
Oh, J.K. Haru.
Yeah.
J.K. Haru, yeah. That's actually a pretty good read. I've been reading that. the last manga chapter to come out was quite funny. So yeah, I disagree with Wad as well here. I don't think the show is bad. I also don't think the girls look particularly horrible either. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, have you looked at that slime girl? You actually have to have bad taste in art styles to think they look bad. Real talk.
Yeah.
Very appealing.
Yeah, like that salamander girl. I really like the salamander girl. She was quite cute. It's quite adorable. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's see if he explain. You know, he's got another like what, 19 minutes to explain himself. So let's see what he's got.
Okay, so in all seriousness,
spoilers.
Community, we need to have a talk. This entire
the
thing
community
revolving around
has to need
Ishizoku
us to
reviews
have a
and
talk.
Funimation.
The community The community needs to have a talk.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Let's have a talk.
You know, a talk is normally like a podcast and not like a video. A video is you're more preaching, or you're more, you know, presenting an idea rather than having a discussion.
Yeah. So let's see what he wants.
Post your thoughts into the comments.
Yeah,
Except you know, if it's supposed to be a joke, in which case, you know, I'm just flexing, bro. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's see what he has to say. You know.
Several other dubbing and licensing companies in Tokyo MX dropping it from their lineups, and a certain million sub AniTuber raising its mouse score to flex on them, as if it's gonna do anything except raise its mouse score and get all of the children to laugh, is incredibly stupid in every aspect I can think of.
I don't know. I think it's pretty funny.
I feel
Who
some.
takes mouse score seriously?
So, are you starting to see what this video is about yet, Lolly?
I feel some beef. Some
I feel
conflict.
some beef too. Yeah, there's something going on here. Someone's jimmies are a bit rustled about something. I wonder what it
Yeah.
could be.
Well, I don't know if it's valid or not. That the Jimmy wrestling, if it was illegal wrestling and should be looked into by the authorities or not.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So-
no, like, okay, so I'm not sure about you. Like, speaking of things we're not supposed to take seriously, I'm not sure about you, but who has actually ever taken mouse scores seriously?
No one.
You know how long Gintama has been up there just by default
Like,
or something? Like, there's a
I've
bunch of
never-
different like
I don't even
adaptations
use
of it.
I don't even use fucking Mao. I use Kiritsu. Who the fuck uses Mao when Kiritsu exists?
Well, I mean, a lot of people do. To be fair, so
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't. And here's the thing. Wouldn't the fact that this Nuxtaku person, again, we don't know who Nuxtaku is technically because we don't watch his content or know a lot about him. But this Nuxtaku dude, right? If he's showing that he can easily meme Isekai interspecies reviewers to the top spot, right?
Isekai
Because, like,
reviewers.
Isekai reviewers like us, yeah. Slip of the tongue. If he's showing that it's so easy to just like meme a show to the top, wouldn't that just be like a very good criticism of the entire system of Mao and make it even more of a joke than it already is? Like,
I mean, on top of that, like, it's not like my anime list is Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or something where like community scores tend to be more generalized. It's a very specific group of people, and that very specific group of people might be incredibly shitposty.
Yeah, it's so I'm interested to see why this is a problem, right? Like, why is it a problem that this, because he spent a very large, because he started with opening with like, okay, so it's been dropped by Funimation and all that stuff, and then this big AniTuber memed it to the top, and like, I'm interested to see what his explanation is as to why this is somehow like an issue.
I wonder if he's going to go into like why specifically Tokyo MX might have dropped it versus like other channels, or if
See,
he's
that's-
just going to be like, oh man, look, it's dropped it over there, so clearly it's like totally
Well,
justified for
let's-
Funimation to do it.
Let's see where he goes with it, shall we? Let's keep going.
You stop watching here because you cannot comprehend that my reasoning for disliking the show has nothing to do with me being offended, a prude, or salty because of the epic flexing ability of anime Battle Block Sans. Please pay attention. Grab your fruit snacks and chicken tendies and listen for longer than a minute.
Oh my god,
And
you know
let's
what
go
this
for
is?
a ride.
What is it?
You know what this is? So,
What
you know that meme image where somebody is like wearing the smug mask and right behind it he's like sleeping?
yeah.
That's this. That's that in video format. That's what this
So-
is.
So I want to critique something here, right? I don't like it when people preemptively attack the audience, right? So what he's doing here is he's saying, oh, well, click away other than a minute if you keep watching if you've got more than attention span of a goldfish or whatever. I don't like it when people do that because it just pisses in the well, right? You're just going, well, if you think I'm a Puritan or whatever already, click on the video. It's like, no one thinks that yet. You're assuming that of the audience, of the viewer, right? You're assuming that they've already made up their minds about this before watching the video, which might be the case, but you deliberately antagonizing them and attacking them is only going to make that worse. It's only going to prove them right. So I don't like it when people do that. I think that it's not a good way to kind of start a discussion, as it were, about something. It's not
These
good.
were never
Well,
about
there's
discussions.
there's a fine line between preempting some predictable comments and being disguising the reason why you did that, which would be easily picked out by the audience.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? Like, there's two different things. It's the way that he's done it, right? It's the words that he's using and the cadence that he's using that is leading me to believe that it is the masking, right? Which isn't actually, because again, spoilers, I've watched the video, which isn't the case. He's not actually a prude, and he's not actually arguing from that position. But because he's brought it up, right, and he's put that idea in my head, you see what I mean? That's why you shouldn't do that. Because if you put the idea in people's heads, then you've poisoned the well, as it were.
I thought of an example where it's valid to preempt some comments from the audience, and it's isekai related because I don't have any other thoughts.
Because everything has to be isekai related.
Everything is isekai. Well,
Yeah.
and the problem is not everything is isekai. So if I say I'm talking about isekai, and I mean contemporary isekai, which is not Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland, even Zero no Tsukaima, the familiar of Zero.
Yeah.
Those are not included in isekai because isekai, as we use now, is a specific thing that applies to these works from somewhere early 2000s until now. That is the isekai what we mean, but when I say isekai. And if I say that, then I'm preempting a lot of comments like, oh, is Alice in Wonderland an isekai?
Yeah. But
No.
Your version of preempting, though, in that case, it's not to be inflammatory, it's to clarify something, because that's a question that's going to pop up, like, hey, what about this thing? You're clarified in your video what specifically you're talking about. You're not being like, oh, I know what I'm saying is actually retarded, let me go preemptively say that you're a fucking doo-doo-head.
Yeah, it's the inflammatory nature of it that I have a problem with. It's this, like, concept of, oh, well, you got the attention span of a goldfish, and if you think click away from this video now if you think I'm just a prude, or, like that kind of thing. That's
Again,
what I
I
have
can
a bit of a
sense
problem
this.
with.
I can sense deceive beneath the false mask of smug.
Yeah. And it's very... I mean, look at what we're looking at on screen right now, right?
It's a
Like,
smug face.
He's got this smug face on, right?
But I
He's got this-
feel it. I
Yeah.
feel the tears.
You can taste the saltiness of the tears
The taste of a liar.
as they drip as they drip down the sides of behind the mask.
I'm wondering, this Nuxtaku guy, I'm just wondering, like, if he, like, murdered this guy's dog or something. What the hell happened?
I don't know. Let's keep going. Let's see. You know, as he insulted us with, we're only a minute in. Maybe he has some good points. Let's keep saying.
Right. It has been almost a year since my video entitled Shield Hero is Not Misogynist was published. The premise of which was that the anime community is extremely stupid and illogical, especially when it comes to more high grounding and overreacting over series that nobody is going to care about or talk about within 3 months of the thing airing. And guess what? Have you seen anyone in the major anime sphere talk about Shield Hero?
Yeah. There was a
Okay.
thing on fucking... There was a thing on fucking Anime News Network where somebody ripped into it as being problematic or whatever, like, not even like a week ago.
So, the issue I have with this is a number of things. The first thing is, people are talking about Shield Hero because Shield Hero got announced to have like fucking 3 more seasons or some shit, right? So clearly, Shield Hero is still popular, right? Clearly.
Yeah.
The second issue I have with this, I think, is the idea that, oh, well, you know, the show's just... Because here's the thing, I actually agree with this idea of people are getting mad about shit that's just gonna die down otherwise, right? Because that's what does happen, right? People got really mad about Shield Hero, and now it's all kind of like everyone's just kind of stopped talking about it in the same way. But that doesn't mean that it's not, like, still in the zeitgeist, right? That doesn't mean that it's not, like, still there, because obviously it's still there, because... Alright, we'll just keep talking while we wait for him to come back. Obviously it's still there, because it wouldn't be getting fucking 2 more seasons otherwise, right?
Yeah. And
It
on
wouldn't-
top
it
of
wouldn't-
that, like...
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking about or people talking about something as it air. Okay, so this brings up a good question. It's stupid to get angry about something that you're not going to remember in a few months. First of all, that's a stupid point. People get angry at things that they, forget the next day, much less, next few months or whatever. On top of that, like, yeah, people are going to be talking about something. Like, his idea behind that is that, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about something. Like, it almost sounds like you shouldn't have this type of conversation about something that's not going to...
Yeah.
That's just going to vanish into the ether. God, this is everything I hate about seasonal fags.
This is gonna be great. Yeah, I knew this was gonna be good for you, Lolly. I knew you'd be good on this one. But you see, my thing is that I don't necessarily disagree with the idea that people are hyping shit up, right? Like with Shield Hero, they're getting mad about it, and this is causing it to get maybe a bit more popularity than it maybe should. Because let's be real here, the Shield Hero anime, after like the initial arc, in my opinion, it kind of dropped down in quality for me. Like it just kind of wasn't as interesting. Right? Like, it was still kind of interesting. It was a fun show. Yeah, we're still going, Ellie. Like, it was kind of interesting. It was a fun type of show, but it just kind of, it reached a peak and then it kind of just started going down, right? And it's like, I think that the discussions kind of matched that. Like, we had the initial explosion of people talking about it. People hyped it up. It's the same thing with Goblin Slayer. People hyped it up. People got really mad about it. Certain individuals started talking about it. And then it kind of died down. But just because we're not seeing those discussions doesn't mean they're not happening, right? Just because Mother's Basement has stopped talking about fucking Goblin Slayer doesn't mean that other people are not talking about Goblin Slayer. It's getting a fucking movie soon.
You know what also kind of gets me? He's using this as a platform in which to just kind of bash on, to flex on the weebs, as it were, in his own, I guess what he would say. But, like, has there ever been any type of nerd community, or any type of, like, media or discussion community that didn't have heated conversations? Because that shit's always fucking existed, especially online, especially when people don't have to directly, like, look each other in the face.
Yeah. It's always happened, and it's always kind of like, it's always been a thing. And it's, It's weird. It's weird because it's weird because again, I do. It's like I agree with 20% of what he's saying, and then the rest of it I don't. You know, like I agree that people shouldn't be getting like fucking ass mad about Goblin Slayer's rape scene and hyping it up to extraordinary degrees, only to be disappointed when it turns out to just be a normal fantasy show, right? Like, you know, like that.
Maybe
kind
they
of thing
should
I
because
agree.
we got an adaptation. We got another adaptation. So yeah,
not
maybe
wrong.
they should.
Maybe they should get mad, but like I can agree with that being a like criticism of the community, right? I guess is what I'm saying, like that idea. But I also heavily disagree with the idea that just because you're not specifically seeing these discussions happening, because like, you know, the billion plus YouTubers are not talking about it or something, doesn't mean that these things are not still happening. Like you mentioned, the Shield Hero, like I don't know if there's a source for that, but if, you know, someone's still
it was
talking about it.
It was Anime News Network's best and worst shows of 2019, and there was at least one person who was like, yeah, this came out at the worst time because the Me Too movement is happening and it was irresponsible for this to come out, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, this thing was written well before this type of thing. But what else was I going to say? Like, on top of all of that, so one of the reasons why this was like, it's not just the interspecies reviewers thing, there's more context to what the hell is going on. Because there's been a lot of controversy with Funimation over the past, like, I would say year and a half is when it really started kicking up. And this is an extension of that. That's why it's such a big deal. Any more than 5 second look at this makes you realize that, you know, there's more shit going on than just this show getting canned, because this wouldn't be the first time Funimation has ever, you know, censored something or like completely canned something that wasn't. This wouldn't even be the first time, even in Japan, that a airing was taken off. You know, when the airing was taken off of MX, Nice Boat was actually trending on Japanese Twitter in reference to the last episode of School Days being taken off the air or back in like the mid 2000s because of things that happened around that time. So,
a king died.
Yeah.
Man, Koto. Truly an example.
So there's a lot of wider context, especially with, as you mentioned, the Funimation stuff, and I feel like I kind of want to get into this a bit later in the video, but it's like the thing with the Funimation stuff is it's just that they're incompetent. They're just incompetent, right? And it's not that they're incompetent because they picked up a show that they didn't research properly. They're incompetent because of how they tried to react to it, right?
In the worst way possible, not being upfront.
Yeah, it's the statement. It's the shadiness of it. It's trying to kind of brush this under the carpet like it didn't happen, right? That's the thing that people are mad about. They're not mad about the fact, like, if they had actually come out with a statement that was like, okay, look guys, we picked up the show, we didn't really know what it was, it doesn't really, like, we don't want to, like, get cancelled off at stores, for example, which I'm going to get to that in a second, right? Like,
well, we don't really...
There is, like, valid reasons that they could have used as excuses, but they didn't. They just said, they put out a very vague kind of, well, you know, we have standards and we can't, you know, we don't want to, like, censor the show and what, you know, we have respect, you know. Like, there's so many holes that need to be filled, and that's why there's so much, like, people coming up with all these theories, like, oh, is it the SJWs? Is it you know,
and it's Funimation's fault in all of this, because, like, with this type of business, you absolutely need to be forthcoming. In their position, they need to be as forthcoming as possible, because that's the only thing that's going to properly squash 90% of rumors.
Yeah, and they didn't cover their ass with that, which is why we have all of this rumor mill stuff going on, because people have to fill the gaps. They're just going to fill the gaps. It's just what happens, right? So you have to make it so that people can't fill the gaps. So yeah, so Ali, are you ready to continue, or are you still having some issues there?
No, what issues?
Well, Oh no, I've spoiled it. But anyway, let's
Yeah.
play the video and hopefully we don't have any more problems.
And its misogyny be the topic of discussion recently? No, you fucking haven't. Because everyone moved on to the next outrage. Now people are accusing
no, because I
Horikoshi of being a
explained.
terrible person because it happens every Tuesday. Because he had the gall to make a terrible person in his manga be named after a terrible thing. The audacity of this terrible man. I hope he gets pegged by Froppy. Seasonal anime watching is something I enjoy. I like it a lot because there's some stuff coming out recently that I've absolutely fallen in love with. Beastars, Quintessential Quintuplets, Kaguya-sama, Wataten, Koisuru Asteroid, Keep Your Hands Off Azoken, so on and so on.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, okay, first of all, those previous 3 ones don't count because, like, it's been more than one season. Nobody remembers them anymore, duh.
Oh yeah, no one's talking about Beastars anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
Beastars
just-
doesn't exist.
yeah. It just vanished. It's like,
No,
he doesn't have, he doesn't have, like, object permanence, but for shows. Like, if he doesn't see it on his, like, RSS feed or whatever, like, every week, it doesn't exist. It just vanished.
If it's not about cute girls or furries, he doesn't care.
I know
Oh,
I have a more general problem with this, and it's incredibly generic what he just said.
Yeah.
Because so what? You like shows that are currently airing because they're currently airing, and does that? I don't really see how that's related to controversy about manga.
Me neither. It's I think he's still on this point of like the everyone's moved on to the next controversy.
Wait.
This is the next controversy, and now he's shifted his point into, well, I like seasonal watching of anime because I like, you know, here's some examples of stuff that I like from seasons, and then, you know, maybe he'll get into like a new point possibly, but it's just like, yeah, it's
So-
kind of weird.
It's kind of weird being like, oh, okay, there's this new controversy, so the other controversy doesn't matter anymore. Like, he's
Yeah.
kind of, that he's invalidating basically everything anybody is saying by, oh, you're just gonna forget about it in a week. It's like, well, yeah, no, people forget about a lot of things in a week. Doesn't mean that make something right. Okay, imagine if I shot a man and the news media and the area I live just forgot about it within a week. Does it make it right that I shot that man?
Do I need to look
Yes,
up
by his
some,
logic, yes.
Do I need to look up some news reports?
No.
Well, it's like, who's like, again, he's like, you know, his same logic can be applied to all of these shows that he's bringing here. Like, who's talking about Asteroid in Love? Who's talking about, you know, the cute girl with the camera and the.
I mean, not him, apparently.
Oh, you mean Miyane?
Yeah, who's like, this is the thing, right? His same logic of like, you know, well, you know, who's talking about this thing within a week? Like Beastars. Beastars was really relevant because it got snubbed at the Anime Awards, and it's, you know, going to actually, where the fuck is that? That's coming soon, isn't it? Like, they're streaming that soon, I think.
Hmm?
Yeah.
What?
Like the Anime Awards. That's
Oh.
soon, isn't it? I think. Maybe. I think it was like the 15th or something. Whatever. But like, Beastars was relevant because it got snubbed because the way that Crunchyroll did their like anime like yearly reward nonsense was that, oh, well, it hasn't actually aired yet because it's on Netflix and Netflix hasn't aired it yet, so it doesn't get to be nominated for anything, and people were really salty about that. So even though Beastars had ended, it was still like relevant and people were talking about it for quite a while, in fact. So
Yeah, for how much we are AnyTubers, we're not really connected to the anime scene.
apparently not. Apparently not. So
Apparently this guy isn't either.
let's continue then.
Being current in the discussion is also really fun because you get to see people's reactions to what you love in real time. It's why I look forward to recording the Weeaboo Club weekly seasonal discussion. By the way, subscribe to the Weeb Club. Look, let me talk.
Is it
Okay,
gonna
I'm gonna
happen?
spoil.
Wait,
Subscribe to us instead.
yeah,
Yes.
subscribe to the critical
gonna-
critique for
Yeah.
our talks and our epic
Shit
takedowns and fun paint adventure.
Takedowns. I like the phrase "takedown" to be used to describe a YouTube video because it's just like I just get a wrestling scene in my head where somebody's just like clotheslining a motherfucker.
I just want to do our new daily reminder that this is not a bully stream, right?
Yes, it is. It is now. I'll make it one.
So this whole plugging thing, it's like, okay, all right, sure, I guess if you want to advertise something else that you're a part of. And
Well, I'm not offended by this advertising, so.
Well, let's see where he goes.
Ishizoku reviewers for all
Seriously,
of you.
don't subscribe
It's
to
so deep
No,
and
don't.
things and here we go. Are you ready? There's an angel femboy. He has penis and ball sack, and he comes in, looks like girl, and then they have the sex with an elf, and they go, ew, elf 500
This is taking
years
too
old, that's
long.
old, and the human go, but she hot
No,
though.
this joke isn't
and then
even
they have
funny.
the
I
sex,
respect it.
and then they make a Mal review for it. And then
I've never
and then the
been
next
tempted to
episode,
like
oh, look,
actually
we
fast forward
drink-
into
we
one of
drink
these
potions,
videos before.
we become
For the
girls.
record.
I have sex with Slime Lady. I have sex with.
I mean,
midgets. I
at-
have sex
at
with-
least the video
with
gets
with
pretty
the
done
hyena
quickly
girl with
now.
the penis.
We're
And
not
I have
pausing,
vagina.
and
Yeah, you
And
notice I'm
that's
not
it.
pausing this.
Goddamn
Yeah.
Show. And I'm like, I wasted my time doing this. But
Hey, it's over.
So yeah, that was a funny joke, wasn't it? It was definitely not
well,
There's way too much of a kernel of truth in all of that. Like, this is just kind of his excuse to mock something he just doesn't like and doesn't understand, or doesn't, think is highbrow enough, I don't know, for his seasonal fag taste.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like that was literally like a solid minute or two of just mocking the show without any actual point to be made, right? Like, he was essentially just boiling the show down and doing the typical childish. He's doing the thing that I sometimes do, right? When I'm like trying to like summarize something in a like dumb way, I'll just be like, this is the thing and it does the thing and that. It's very funny. Like, I do that because it's like mockery. I don't do that as like a serious like thing, right? Like, and I don't do it for
But
like
dude,
a
this
solid
totally
fucking
isn't
minute.
this totally isn't serious. Stop taking it seriously. He's totally not
Oh, no.
seething at the moment.
Oh no, it's just a flex, bro. He's flexed on me. He's totally flexed on me.
what I don't like.
So yeah, let's keep going.
That come from experiencing media in real time, seasonal anime watching continues to be a very heated topic amongst us in the community. Namely, that the act is cancerous and people who only watch seasonal anime are small-brained Neanderthals with the attention span of a coked-up goldfish.
To be fair, I'm getting
The
that
biggest
opinion
reason-
right now. Of like, for him, I'm actually kind of getting that opinion right now. He is actually that stereotype.
Yeah, he's acting literally like that. He was literally acting like that stereotype like a minute ago.
well, it's ironic, you know.
Like, look, man, you're not sitting there and you're not, reviewing the top upper crust of something. Like, you're not going back and looking at the classics or whatever, and you're not some. Okay, so imagine if somebody were to just watch movies, just chug every movie as they came out, right?
Right.
And tried to see themselves as the same type of, like, I don't know, hoity-toity cultural connoisseur as somebody who does nothing but, like, I don't know, reviews movies that are decades old and were influential. Yeah,
So basically, you're describing Movie Bob.
yeah.
It's weird. It's like, okay, so I actually
That's a
don't even
cursed as
know-
fuck thing to bring up, by the way.
I know. See, I didn't even know about the stereotype of like seasonal reviewers being like, I don't know, stupid or dumber. Like, I don't know.
Well,
where
no,
that's actually come from.
it'll seasonal watchers, and that's a joke from fucking 4chan. Like, that's not. No,
Again,
somebody who
there's, like-
watches something as it comes out isn't any less smart or dumb. Like, it's not. It's a fucking
It's just
joke.
it's just like I don't. Again, this has that like air of him taking something that's not serious seriously. Like, he's taking something that's like this whole idea. It's like the people that take PC Master Race seriously, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, he's fucking he's projecting this entire thing. You're the one taking this seriously, not me.
Yeah. But it's literally like that. It's the people that are like, oh, these PC Master Race people, such fascists. They think that, oh man, being on the PC Master Race. Is
I've
so
seen
good.
both fascist and socialist for that, by the way.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like people will like take it like super seriously, and that applies to the people that do the meme as well. Like sometimes they take it like legit as well and get a bit. It's like console war faggotry, right? Like they'll take shit way too seriously. That's what I'm getting from this, right? He's taking like the stereotype that's just like a 4chan meme thing that I don't even think a lot of people even know or care about, and he's taking it super seriously, like it's this massive like thing that he takes offense to, right? And I feel like that's kind of what he's doing here.
Console wars are fun ways to get some tribalism out of you.
Yeah, so let's keep going.
Being that seasonal anime discussion, while being fun in small doses, becomes a vehicle for random outrage that everyone treats like a big deal until they find the next thing to cry and piss and moan about. It's frustrating and mind-numbing because then we get shit like Shield Hero's misogynist, Lily is trans, and now, which is possibly the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Real quick. So, he says that anime seasonal watchers are small-brained idiots, and that's not true.
Right.
Now he's saying that seasonal watchers are small-brained idiots that just move on to the next controversy.
I didn't hear what you said because you cut out, sorry. Alright.
Elon Musk, please sponsor, give us a Starlink. Give us the beta for Starlink.
Help. So, yeah, but he's basically like, alright, so there's all these controversies going on, and it's like everyone just moves on to the next one. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that the controversy didn't happen.
Yeah, people still bring up the Lily is trans thing.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, I agree, it doesn't come up as often, but, like...
Well, because most people, even most of the people that were...
Hang on, it's like people that keep going on about how Starfo is trans. Like, that comes up all the fucking time. Constantly. Oh, Starfo is trans, or Starfo is trans, or Starfo is trans. When he's not, right? Like, it's fucking constant. So, I don't get what he's saying here. It's like, just because he's not personally seeing something happening doesn't mean it's not happening in some case, right?
Okay, so, just going to put this out there, but not caring about something isn't any more or less a valid opinion on a hot button issue as actually caring about the hot button issue. If anything, outright dismissal of something like that because you just have a distaste for it just kind of means that you are kind of small-brained because your entire thing is, well, I don't care, so nobody else should.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. It's weird. It's like he's got the fucking top hat and the monocle. It's like, oh, this drama about this interspecies reviews.
The fucking tragedy of the commons.
Oh, it's so beneath me. The great the savior of AniTube.
He doesn't actually think himself. Oh no, actually, there's a video in the more videos section called "I Don't Like AniTube," so maybe he does see himself like that.
No, but
like even me in all my pretentious glory with everything here, I don't see myself as some sort of keepo. We're just shitposted on the internet.
We're having a chat over a video on the internet. We just shitposted. It's just a flex, bro.
but also he's blaming he's saying he denies the stereotype of being a small-brained idiot for watching seasonal anime. But what does he accuse others of?
Being small-brained idiots for getting involved in the controversies
of the seasonal anime.
For talking about seasonal anime in a way he doesn't like.
Yeah. So let's keep going.
The situation with Ishizoku reviewers. I strongly recommend that before all of you assume that this is just corporations being prudes, or that this is part of Funimation's SJW agenda, you actually use your computer for something other than hentai and look up the facts for yourselves. As detailed in the Cartoon Cypher's video regarding the topic, this issue is far more nuanced than SJW agenda and incompetence.
The market...
Okay, so this is going to be kind of weird, because I've watched the Cartoon Cypher's video on this topic. It's a good video, right? It's actually a really solid fear breakdown of the situation, and poses some really interesting possible ideas as to what's going on. The problem is, what is doing, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if it's an appeal to authority, right? But it's kind of like, I don't really have an actual, argument. Here's someone else's argument, right? Like, he's just kind of pushing the fucking responsibility along in his own video. And it's like, that's really lazy to me, right? Like, you could use, quotes from the Cartoon Cypher's video and kind of explain, oh, well, that's, this is what they think, and I agree with this, or whatever. But, as we're about to see, he's just going to take whole clips from the video.
So here's for the
us?
for the record, I'm just going to put this out there. I didn't think it was SJW agenda. I just thought it was corporate incompetence.
Yeah, I also, at the start, right? Because I'd seen, all of the different theories going around, and at the start I was like, okay, yeah, well, it's probably fucking Funimation being Funimation, right? I didn't think it was immediately SJW shit. I thought, because it's Funimation, right? The reason people think it's SJW shit is because Funimation is SJW. And they've proven themselves to be SJW because their employees are on fucking Twitter being SJWs, right? So, I don't blame people for having that be the first thing they jump to. Because when you have a statement, again, and this is going to be a reoccurring thing with my argument on this, when you have a statement that is extremely vague, doesn't actually tell you the real reasons behind anything, is just kind of a fluff PR, brush it under the rug type of statement that leaves a lot of holes for people to interpret and come up with different fucking conspiracy theories. Obviously, people are gonna go, Funimation's pretty SJW. Maybe they just didn't want to have the sex show on their thing because they're SJW. Maybe it's just natural.
Well,
it's gonna happen.
The thing is that Funimation, from what I know, I mean, if there was just one reason given and a minor one, and that I saw everybody jump on the big old corporate incompetence wagon.
Yeah, pretty much everyone was like, why didn't you do your due diligence? And this is the thing. What has clipped out a part of Cartoon Cypher's video where they discuss that, thinking that it strengthens his own argument, but it doesn't. It's not, because it's not his argument. It's Cartoon Cypher's argument, right? And we're gonna let's get to that. So let's watch what the Cartoon Cypher's thing is, what he has to say. Right?
Oh my god, we're only 4 minutes in. This is fucking great.
I told you this was going to be a long one. So let's listen to the argument, right?
Is dictated entirely by streaming.
Okay, this is also another problem. So he's taken a quote from the Cartoon Cypher's video, but he hasn't actually kept the part where they tell who this person is that is talking, because it's not the Cartoon Cypher, it's someone that Cartoon Cypher is interviewing. So we don't actually know who this guy is. It could just be a random Joe on the street. It's actually someone that is somewhat familiar with I can't remember his name, but he is someone who is familiar with the streaming service type stuff and the inner workings, right? So it's kind of like, you should have kept that kind of clarification as to who is actually talking here, right? Again, what fucked up. Let's continue.
Because everything's for streaming and the licensing landscape is so competitive, they have to license these shows sight unseen. They're not done when they're buying them, so they don't know what they're getting.
If they only got to see episode 1 before the dubbing started, then that would make some sense, since unlike some of the following episodes, its content still seemed to be within the realm of what Funimation would air, like High School DxD.
I'm leaving the rest of the video for you to watch
I have nothing really to add because it's
Yeah,
us commenting
this is-
on another video which is used in a video, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
one
the
layer
problem.
too deep for me.
That's
Yeah.
the problem, right? It's not his. He's just kind of. Actually, you know what? Let's wait 1 second.
Because I actually want to give attention to my fellow creators. Subscribe to the Cartoon Cypher, by the way. They easily put out some of the best and most well-researched and informed content out there. But essentially, this whole situation is just fucked.
Oh, he didn't say. He didn't. I guess it must be another part where he sees it. But like, it comes off as just go educate yourself. Like
Yeah.
he's just saying, I don't have to present an argument to you. You should go Google it yourself, right? I don't have to put in the work to formulate like an actual point or argument. Like he could credit the Cartoon Cypher for coming up with the initial idea, but he should be presenting the argument himself, right? Not being like, here's a clip from a random video that proves me correct. It's not good form.
And taking
And
the
here's
clip
the-
out of context in order to fit his own argument, which is
And-
less of an argument and more just like spurg rage at this moment.
Yeah, and here's another thing. He didn't even clip out the best part of the Cartoon Cypher's video. The best part of the Cartoon Cypher's video is where they hypothesize that the reason it might have been taken down was due to App Store interference. The idea that, well, it's this really raunchy show, maybe they took it down because they don't want to, like, tempt the fickle... Because we all know Apple and Google Play are very, very fickle, right? We know that they don't like stuff. That's why Tumblr's porn ban happened, because Apple was like, why is all of this CP on your site? Get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
They're very
And-
fickle.
Hence is the problem, though. Like, and we were saying this before. The problem that people have with the whole thing with Funimation isn't even necessarily SJW thing. It's them not being upfront about things. It's
Yeah.
it's the lack of transparency, especially when people are paying for their streaming service.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like it's like Watt doesn't fundamentally understand what the problem is.
He
thinks
doesn't
that-
care about the problem, so of course he
Yeah.
doesn't understand. So why the fuck is he talking about it?
Yeah, like he seems to think that the problem is, oh well, Funimation dropped the show, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure. There's probably a lot of people disappointed that Funimation dropped the show, but the actual reason people are mad is because Funimation didn't tell people why. They just they lied.
Well,
Like,
I think you're wrong, and you're missing the point. He's not angry that Funimation dropped the show. He's angry that people are making a fuss about it.
Oh, no, I didn't say that he was mad. I said he thinks people are mad. So he's saying
Yeah.
his perspective is, oh, people are mad just because they dropped the show, when that's not what the main reason. Again, there's layers to this, right? There's people that are mad because they dropped the show because they were enjoying the show and liked watching it on Funimation, or they're dub-only watchers or whatever, right? And they were happy to get the dub for the show, right? There's that layer. Then there's the layer of people that are mad because of the incompetence, which is the main majority of people, in my opinion. I think the majority of people are mad about the incompetence of Funimation, rather than it just being a case of, oh, I'm sad my favorite show got dropped by the big bad corporation. You were going to say something, Lolly?
Oh,
Okay.
well, but just... Again, like, why the fuck is he talking about? He clearly doesn't understand what people are talking about, and he's just misrepresenting the problem people have with something. Like, this is what I hate about a lot of, like, the things we cover. Like, they don't seem to, like, understand that there are, even if they disagree with something, there are legitimate reasons people might be upset, out this. Yeah, I can say that has a valid point, and that maybe sabotaging a Mal score, as insignificant as that is kind of immature and not an appropriate response to what's going on. Maybe making SJW theories about this isn't an appropriate response to what's going on. But not everybody is doing those things. I don't have a Mal account, so I'm not contributing to that raid for one. I just find it funny to watch in the background because of the immaturity of it. I didn't even like the whole SJW angle didn't even cross my damn mind. First of all, because in apparently one of the early responses was from a voice actress who dubbed the show, and they're like, yeah, no, everybody loved doing this, so like we got this like at the last second too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, even they were in the position of, well, we don't know what the fuck's going on. I just woke up and I saw this shit, right? So,
it literally is just fucking, it comes off as incompetence, you know?
yeah, not only is there incompetence, and another layer to this, there's translators that apparently were fired over this because they didn't do their due diligence.
I'm not sure about that one. I haven't seen any actual proof.
I haven't seen any evidence, but if they drop this show, that means that there is less of demand for translators internally. So
yeah. So
it could affect the income of somebody.
It could, yeah, but it's like I don't want to like comment on, like I don't want to like prop that up as it being true, like actual truth.
Yeah,
because I haven't actually like found any evidence that anyone has actually been fired over this. Now,
but like you can't just say though, oh, fucking LOL weebs fucking overreacting to something. There are legitimate criticisms to like be levied here.
And to go back to what the Cartoon Cypher's point that he snippeted out, right? The idea of, oh well, they're buying all of these shows, you know, before knowing what they are because they want to get the licenses really quick. Wouldn't that be a criticism of the system as a whole? Then?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a valid criticism to have of, well, okay, well, they're being forced to pick up these shows without actually researching them, because if they don't pick it up, someone else is going to pick it up, you know, like the licensing wars and auctions and stuff like that, right? Like, wouldn't that be something to actually talk about and criticize?
It's what people criticized the anime industry in the early 2000s, like what eventually led to it like collapsing so hard. They were just licensing everything, whether or not it was profitable.
Yeah, it's something that I feel is worth talking about, but What the What just seems to kind of like he's using that as an excuse rather than what it actually is, because it's not an excuse. It's a possible plausible explanation that makes sense and is also something to be mad about, but just not mad in the same way, right? It's still Funimation's incompetence, right? Because of their statement and other stuff. But you can also be mad. It's like you can be mad at two things at the same time, you know? Like people are capable of being mad at different concepts of the same outrage, right? And being mad about the fact that streaming sites and all that are placating and, you know, doing this whole licensing war nonsense, which, you know, Unique Namosaurus put out a really, really good video about this, like, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, where he talks about how this stuff is bullshit, and it's killing streaming, and streaming is literally just this bubble that's about to burst because we've got all of these different sites getting exclusivity on things, and no one's going to fucking buy 20 different streaming sites to watch what they want to watch, right? So there is a discussion to be had about that, but What the What seems to think that, oh well, no, this is a valid reason to just dismiss everyone that's mad about this show, and it's like, no.
Yeah, even Cartoon Cypher, who he quoted, was having a more interesting discussion by actually being open-minded to the situation and not just dismissing it as, oh, it's just another stupid drama thing in the weeb sphere.
And like I said, because I've watched Cartoon Cypher's video, it's actually a really good video. It's a really good, like, fair... Like, I don't necessarily agree with all of it, because they do get a bit, you know, oh, dubs are great, you know, bit preachy there on a bit of that. But I do agree that, like, you know, this is probably, like, a combination of different issues that have formulated this thing to blow up. But the major problem that I keep coming back to is the initial response and the statement. If those two things were not what they were, I don't think this would have blown up as big as it did. Sure, you would have gotten, like, some people being like, oh, that's disappointing, I'm really mad that, you know, they cancelled the show or whatever, right?
That statement, by the way, only came out because somebody mailed tech support. Exactly. Another thing he doesn't mention is that nobody was informed of this.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I mean, right? It's the incompetence of it. And to just brush that off as, oh, well, you know, weebs mad because they don't get their titty show, right? You know,
because they paid for it!
Yeah, they paid for it. It's like, Christ. So yeah, we've been on this for a bit, so let's keep going.
Because of the way the dubbing system is, there's a lot of things that contributed to this frankly, comically stupid mistake. The manga's material is very clearly not as sexual as the anime is, and Passion was obviously put in a situation where they could either turn the anime into talking heads and floating text, or, as they clearly chose to do, decided to have everyone do a little diddling.
Okay, so that point is actually correct. This is like the only part in the video so far where he's actually correct. Yes, the manga is less graphic than the anime, right? That's factual. The problem I have with this though is that again, he's running under the assumption that, you know, people are running, because I do agree, people are running with the idea of, oh, Funimation should have done their due diligence, they should have, you know, researched the show better or whatever. Like, I can understand, like, if they didn't do, if all they had to go on was, oh, we're going to buy up this license and then, you know, maybe look into the manga, see what it is or whatever, they might not have gotten the right idea, right? I can be charitable, even though I shouldn't, right? I can be charitable and agree with that. But it still doesn't excuse the statement. It still doesn't excuse how they handled it. It still doesn't excuse how they brushed it under the rug. It still doesn't excuse any of that, right? And that's the problem here, right? Like, he can, like, what can go on about, you know, oh, well, you know, the manga's not as raunchy as the anime, and fucking this, that, and the next thing. It's like, no, you're not addressing the core issue. You're just going after Strawman. In a sense. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that.
No, not really.
Alright, well, we'll keep going then.
The only thing this show does not show is a penis entering a vagina, which is the only thing separating it from a hentai. What about Yuri? Fuck you! Go watch Koizuru Asteroid, I heard the girls kiss. Go watch Senton Academy, I heard she eats poop or something. Y'all are into that, right? Now, what?
Old meme.
It's weird, I guess.
Just keep going.
The what, you might say? Shouldn't have Funimation checked the product before they licensed it? Well, I will be citing the Cartoon Cypher once again. The way Funimation works is that licensing and the actual production side of things are two departments, and they will acquire shows way before they come out. So unless you are telling me that Funimation has time travel powers, I do not understand how you could possibly expect them to check this show beforehand.
Well, we talked
other
about
than
this
by...
already, so it's not really... Yeah, it's you can let it go, but...
Yeah, it's like we talked about this already, and it's again he's not. Again, it doesn't feel like he's using his own argument here. It's like, yeah, this is what the Cartoon Cypher was saying, and as we said, it's not an excuse for the real problem, right? But he's acting like it is. So let's continue.
Checking the manga, which, again, has significantly less ecchi material than the anime adaptation. Again, please watch his video to educate yourselves.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. Just go educate yourself, Lolly. You're not educated enough. Go watch his video to educate yourself.
What can I say? I don't watch people. I don't value the opinions of people who watch dubs. I don't know what to say. I just dismiss them. They don't. Those opinions don't exist.
Just dismiss them like what dismisses people.
Yeah. Apparently, just dismissing opinions, like, you know, they're dismissing things just like off the cuff is just perfectly acceptable.
Just dismiss what people are like blatantly screaming at you to your face. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
And again,
now,
like, you know, that brings up a problem with the system.
Nux
Like, there's a legitimate discussion that he's just like dismissing right there. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna get into the Sans looking motherfucker. I don't. let's see what the beef is.
Taku is the center of it. Obviously, he's the one who's been milking this whole thing for 3 whole videos.
Okay, so
he should have gone there first, apparently.
Okay, so a bit of context, right? I've talked to Unknown Otaku about this, right? Because he's been doing things involving this and talking with different sides. When he brings up like 3 different videos, one of those videos is not actually related to this reviewer drama. One of these videos is something else. It was a completely different like situation where Nux had put out a video and then Funimation had put out a video similar to Nux's. So Nux was like, he put out like a joke video about it where the thumbnail and the title makes it look like he's calling out Funimation, but at the very beginning of the video he says, "Oh no, this isn't serious. I'm not actually like, it's not a big deal. Because he actually got in contact with Funimation about it, and they said, "Oh, we didn't know about your content or whatever, and it wasn't meant to be like a copying thing or something like that." So, like, he actually like states that pretty clearly at the beginning, and what that tells me is that What the Wad is not actually watching these videos. He just sees Funimation Bad or Funimation Flex or whatever, and he's just assuming that it's all part of the same thing when it's not. Because like, I think Nux has only made like one Pacific video about this isekai. I keep saying isekai. Fuck. I hate you. The interspecies reviewers stuff. So I just wanted to kind of put that in there as context, right? So let's continue.
But he's played this whole thing off as a meme. I would believe it, because while the meme is stupid and unfunny, I can at least see what he's actually trying to do. My Anime List is a broken shit stain of a site, and the rating system is as helpful as a sandpaper condom when trying to determine what a good show is or not. I mean, Code Geass is number 36 across the whole site, what are you, stupid? But while hiding behind the shield of just a prank, bro...
Code Geass is a bad show. Yeah. No, I never watched it, so I can't... It's just an opinion.
I haven't watched it either. So now
it's a popular show. It's a popular show. That doesn't mean it's necessarily a good show, and that's what those rankings can only really recommend, honestly, to what other people are watching or what other people like. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to approach things like that.
Also, this he's getting into this idea of, he's hiding behind, like, it's just a meme. It's just a flex, bro. And it's like maybe it is just...
Speaking of unfunny jokes, this entire video, because apparently it's just a flex, it's just a meme.
Well, that's why he's saying that, right? He's trying to, like, that's why in the description, right? Because it says check the description. That's why in the description he says, if you disagree with this show, but you also defend Nuxtaku because it's just a meme or it's just a flex, you're a hypocrite. That's why he's saying that. Like, he's
I'm
trying
on the fence right now, right? I'm trying to think of whether or not I think this person's more annoying than Jerry Freeman. And that's fucking with me.
That's pretty...
Like, I'm on the fence. He's very close to it.
Well, I watched some videos in preparation to see if they're good for the channel. I think Jerry still is more annoying than this.
But yeah, it's so let's keep going.
Nux has gone out of his way to paint Funimation as the bad guy in this whole situation. Now, before I go forward, I guess I should probably say this.
Are you sure, Ellie? Are you sure, Ellie? Are you sure this person isn't as annoying as Jerry Freeman? Because I want to choke him as much.
So, for context, right now he is now mocking Nuxtaku's voice and cadence and basically saying the same stuff that Nuxtaku says. So let's just try and get through this.
Upset at Nuxtaku, don't write him death threats or whatever, none of that. He just demonized the whole corporation for a meme because he's a dumb fuck who can't do research. That's literally all that happened, okay? Everybody has the right to be a dumb fuck, okay? So, full disclosure.
So, there was a period of time where nobody knew the real reason because Funimation was being vague as fuck.
Right.
So, in that period, I won't blame anybody for coming up some weird conclusions because there's no information.
Right.
Yeah. Which is entirely on Funimation for not being transparent about that stuff. Like, they still really haven't put out a statement.
No, they haven't. So, so talking about this bit here where he's, like, mocking Nuxtaku, and he's saying, he demonized the whole corporation, even though he didn't do his research. It's like, no.
People were already upset about Funimation for several things. This added fuel to the fire.
Funimation has done enough over the years to deserve the demonization, if you ask me. Like, I'm sorry, but they've done so much shit over the years.
Also, I just want to point out what he's saying. He's saying he's criticizing somebody, an Anituber I actually haven't heard of until this, Nuxtaku, whatever the hell his name is. So, he's criticizing somebody who, like, I don't know, maybe has a few thousand teenagers following him for the audacity of bullying a corporation that is attached to one of the largest media giants in the world.
I wanna
Funimation doesn't need your protection because they have that Sony dollar bill going in.
I wanna spoil something for you, Lolly. Nuxtaku has over 1 million subscribers.
Well, I never heard of the guy. Look, if I don't hear of a person, they don't exist, okay?
See, I'm bringing
Which
that
we
up.
will, which we will
I'm just
soon
bringing that up.
surpass.
Yeah, I'm just bringing that up because it's going to be relevant later, right? So Nuxtaku is what I would describe. He is I would say he's a big anti-tuber, right? But the thing with Nuxtaku is 90% of his content is just memes, right? It literally is just memes. He fucking talks about hentai all the time, right? He talks about like that kind of shit, and he makes jokes and funny, haha, whatever. But yeah,
Which makes for bad content for our channel.
Which makes bad content for our channel, because here's the thing. Nuxtaku doesn't take any of this seriously. Or at least he doesn't appear to take it seriously. He's just having fun. It's just shitty meme content. So, let's continue.
I have here a message from my buddy Vindy, who is a big fan of Nux's
Oh,
dumb
this is
fuck
good.
crusade against this whole thing.
This punk bitch motherfucker Nuxtaku. Oh my god. I'm actually like fucking baffled at this whole situation. Because like, look, here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, it's like
This looks like the
Funimation can do
room
whatever
of
the fuck they
somebody
want,
I
right?
can
If they
beat
want to
up.
drop the fucking show.
So, let's
I think I could
think about
actually
what-
physically assault this person and get away with it. Just
So-
speaking of flexes.
So, let's talk about what just happened. So, what is doing this thing again, where he, rather than actually formulate his own argument, he's like, okay, I'm going to pass this on to my friend, right? I'm going to pass this on to my friend here, right? I'm going to shout out my friend. I'm going to post, like, most of his video in this video. It's what he did with Cartoon Cypher, right? He's like, I'm going to use this as my argument, right? And as you're about to find out, he doesn't just use, like, a clip from this guy. He's going to use a little bit more. So,
Well,
congratulations.
of course he
we've
has
now
to
complete-
use...
Oh, sorry,
Well, that's the thing. He has to use all of this because he said it himself. He's not interested in this. So he doesn't really actually have an opinion, except apparently he wants to have an opinion, but doesn't want to engage and understand something. So he's just passing the buck.
So now, we're not watching a What the What video. We're watching this guy's video. So let's watch this guy's video and see what he has to say.
Because they think it doesn't meet their standards. By the way, Nuxtaku, you fucking idiot. I don't know if you know this, but standards doesn't just mean moral standards. There are multiple kinds
Can you
of
pause
standards.
real
Like
quick? He needs to update his camera.
Yeah, he does.
And I mean,
also,
that's strapped
He
in
also
the
needs to
back.
comb his fucking hair. Jesus Christ.
And that's strapped in the back on the door.
Fucking
knob. It's
man-child.
annoying.
So what do we think about what he's saying, though? He's saying that,
Well,
more standards
I'm not
than
listening
just
to what
moral
he's
standards.
saying.
I'm not listening to
Yeah. Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going, because
I
we
mean,
already
look at
know
the
the whole
gap.
statement about
No,
standards.
look at the gap of the door and the floor. That's massive. You should get another door.
Cry. God, Ellie, it's
Maybe
usually
he shares
me
this
doing
room.
shit.
Maybe he shares this room.
Maybe he has hamsters and he needs to have room for the hamsters
Oh my
to get
God.
under the door.
If he shares this room, okay, imagine you share a room and you have to look over to this person in that bikini girl Figma, and it's just like, man, could you not be horny
No,
when we
it's
share
not-
the room?
It's not a Figma. Figmas are you can move. This is
Whatever, Beach Queen. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't have money for that shit. Bitch, I'm poor.
I love how, like, it's usually me doing this shit and now it's you two doing it.
There's nothing interesting being said here. So
But
So now we have to make fun of a person.
not a bully stream. Okay, but no, but I find it interesting what he said there. I do actually find it interesting. So he's saying that there's more standards than because he's talking about Funimation's statement, right? And this is a big thing because what have I been saying this whole fucking video? Funimation's statement is the problem. So now we actually get to talk about the statement, right? He's trying to make the argument that, well, the standards that they're talking about in their statement it's not necessarily moral standards they're talking about. Maybe they're just talking about quality standards, and it's like, we don't fucking know that. They didn't fucking clarify what their standards meant. We don't know what they mean. Like, what does standards mean in the context of that thing? You can't tell me, right? And that's the problem. So it's all well and good for this fine gentleman over here, right? To go, oh well, there's more standards than just moral standards. They might not be talking about moral standards, right? And it's like,
If
no,
it's quality standards, right? So if it's
Yeah.
just in terms of quality standards, we already know that isn't the case because they license shows before they see them.
Exactly. So it can't be a quality standard because they don't have any standards because they just pick up everything that they can, right? There's no standards.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how the market
That's-
works. You have to pick up everything regardless of quality because
Yeah,
your goal is to push content, not judge the quality of the content.
So now this dude's video is contradicting the point made earlier, where he was where what was using that as an excuse, right? Because now it can't be an excuse because now they have standards. But how can they have standards if they don't have? You see, this is the mental fucking gymnastics, right? That's going on right now. How can Funimation have standards when they clearly don't have standards, right? Because they can't have standards, because the excuse being used is that they have to pick up everything before seeing it, which means, obviously, they don't have standards that they're weighing these shows up against, right? So
They're not the Criterion Collection or something like that. They're picking up everything and they're dropping everything. They're not actually evaluating the quality by watching through it. They don't have the time for that because they don't have the resources for that.
They don't have the time for that, and they can't because, as Cartoon Cypher said, the show's not done when they pick it up, right? And they don't have like episodes yet. They just have like synopsises and shit. But then again, I think even with the fucking synopsis.
Also, I don't believe the idea that just because a show is bad means that they're going to drop streaming it. Like,
yeah,
I've seen them stream some garbage, some hot fucking garbage.
yeah. So let's see what this fine gentleman has to say, shall we?
I have standards for quality, so I can't watch your terrible videos. So when they say it doesn't meet their standards, maybe, just maybe, they mean it's a little too raunchy for them to want to have on their site and to spend the time dubbing it and the money when...
That's a moral quality. That's a moral.
Yeah,
That's a moral standard.
He just said that it might not be a moral standard, but maybe it's a moral standard. Yeah, good. Nice play. Fucking clutch. Just come on, dude. Like that. That's such a like. How can you like contradict yourself so fast? Like that was like 0.2 seconds of talk.
How can you publish this video and not like look over the audio and be like, I contradicted myself here.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm going to publish this, maybe I should go back, rework my script, and formulate my thoughts a bit more. Maybe scrap this. I don't have to shove it out. Speaking of standards, this guy doesn't have any when he puts it out on YouTube.
Yeah, it's weird to me, right? Like he's talking about like the standards and shit, but he's not. He immediately just is like, oh well, maybe they don't want something that's raunchy. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. They have fucking Quasar on their like they fucking licensed Quasar, which is about breastfeeding and shit.
Yeah, it has breastfeeding, which is a fetishistic thing.
Yeah, like and then Valkyrie
High School
Drive
DxD,
Bikini.
which has pole. Yeah. High School
like,
DxD, which has pole dancing. So yeah, they do like raunchy things. They're fine with publishing raunchy things and have been for years. Also, I just want to say this person's room looks like the physical manifestation of Loot Box, of Loot Crate or whatever the fuck it is.
Nah, that's my room, dude. You haven't seen my
I'm sorry, but I
collection of
wouldn't
crate
fuck
boxes.
somebody in this room.
All right, let's keep going.
They don't want to be associated with something as raunchy.
Again, I don't think he has that problem.
So your whole point in your most recent video about, the fucking standards, Emo Sai has, the whole thing starts with a joke about, the guy's writing about his little sister, but it's a guy with his little sister, so that means that they, no matter what, Funimation morally agrees with that. Or Zerlane, means Funimation says you should fuck boats. No, like, you're an idiot.
What?
I don't see a difference between...
Look, if this guy's projecting so hard that if you were to put him in front of a big screen, he'd win a fucking Academy Award.
The thing with the standards, like, obviously, if Funimation is licensing a Zero Lane, they're not saying that they morally...
He's making a false equivalence, by the way,
Yeah,
because the reasons that they might that he thinks they might have dropped something like Interspecies Reviewer is related to graphic content and not implied content.
Right.
By the way, even then that doesn't make sense, because think of how raunchy Azure Lane was, and that had like actual lolly boats and stuff, and apparently that didn't bother the App Store, so He's actually
Yeah.
kind of weakening the argument that it might have been an App Store problem.
He's weakening the whole argument, and I also have to ask, why is he so mad? Like, he's genuinely pissed in this fucking clip.
Don't
Why-
insult my favorite corporation, you assholes.
Yeah, why are you so mad that people are calling out the incompetence of a company? Like, Funimation's not gonna fucking hire you, dude. They're not gonna, like, give you a fucking, like, deal, right? It's almost like fucking Simps in that whole, like, oh man, I hope she sees this, bro. You know? like, why are you white knighting for a multi-billion-dollar company that couldn't give less of a shit about your existence?
Imagine
Like,
if people did this for EA. How much people would fucking
Yeah.
laugh at them.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, oh, you know, loot boxes and stuff, you know, that's not that bad. You know, Battlefront
Oh,
2,
they stopped development of Anthem. Who cares? It didn't meet their standards.
Yeah, it didn't meet. Yeah,
I didn't play it, so who gives a fuck?
let's keep going.
And you don't know what you're talking about. It's very fucking clear. All right, that's the first thing. We're like, oh, we're gonna flex on Funimation and flex on everyone by giving the show a 10 on Mal. No.
You don't look like
All
you
you're
can
doing
actually
is
flex.
fucking up the
There's
Mal
no
scores
muscle
even
mass
more
there,
than they
I'm sorry.
So
I'm
now
pissed
he's
enough
talking-
that I'm making fun of this person's physical appearance.
All right. So now he's talking about the Mal school stuff. So let's hear what he has to say.
already are. Right? Mal's already a joke of a website. It's
doesn't
already
matter.
fucked up. So you're just
Yeah.
showing that, like, oh yeah, Mal's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanted to flex on Mal, perfect play. Genius. If your
Okay.
video was like Mal sucks and we're gonna
Alright.
prove that Mal sucks by getting Ishizoku reviewers a 10 and getting it to the top, great. I'd actually say, you know what? I understand.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this preemptively a little bit, right? Then why are you mad about it because it's Funimation?
Yeah,
Why
if
is
it's
the fact
Mal,
that
it's a
it's
joke
Fun-
site. Who
if-
gives a shit?
Yeah. If it's like, oh, it's a flex on Mal, oh, that's perfectly fine. But no, don't you? It's like what you said. Don't you fucking dare offend the honor of Milady Corporation. Don't you? This corporation that I've probably spent a shit ton of money buying their overpriced DVD box sets and shit on. Don't you dare insult the honor of Funimation. How dare you, good sir? You know?
So,
Like-
here's the thing with things like review score pushing and stuff like that. Because of how these companies work as basically choke points for, they basically gate content. Like, it's a choke point. This is the only way that consumers can actually get their, can air their grievances.
This goes into the discussion about review bombing a little bit.
Yeah.
Because review bombing is very similar, right? Where you'll have, like, a game developer will do something that people don't like, so they'll review bomb the game. And it's like, yeah, sure,
If they
that's
are
an
going to
abuse.
if they aren't going to provide a forum in which people can air their grievances, and yes, they were deleting threads on interspecies reviewers on their website, if they are not going to provide a forum to air their grievances, then yeah, they should expect that to happen to them.
Yeah, like, review bombing and that kind of stuff is about sending a message. Right?
They can set
And I
up a
agree.
forum. They're a big
And
company.
I-
They can set up something like that if they really
And
wanted to.
I agree that it is technically abusing the system. But as you said, when the customer has no other, like, way to voice its grievance, I don't see what the problem is. And again, it's weird because he's like, oh, okay, well, if it was just shitting on Mal, then that's fine. But all of a sudden, as soon as it becomes about the corporation Funimation, now it's a problem somehow. And he hasn't connected the dots, right? Like, he hasn't connected the dot of, okay, so what makes it worse now? Like, how does this excuse Funimation's incompetence? Because they were clearly incompetent in how they handled the situation. So why is that criticism invalid now? Is my question, right? But let's keep going. Also, take note of how long we've been on this guy.
In your play, I understand what you're going for. Keep it up, dog. But that's not what you're fucking doing. So first of all, it doesn't even make sense. The idea
So
that
I just
like,
want to
you know,
pause
oh,
again.
We're gonna give it a
Pause again. Look at his hand. I know this is like getting really deep, but look at his hand motion. Look at how he's darting his eyes back and forth from the way he's darting them. He's formulating his thoughts as he's talking. Like, that's how you can kind of tell he's kind of out, like, he's kind of really upset. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, this is supposed to be, like, a serious response to somebody. He's formulating the response completely off the cuff.
Right.
Why are you using this person's video? You could make the same response yourself. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
shout
this
outs to
is-
your
this-
friends, I guess.
Yeah, this is like my problem with what the what's usage of this is. Like, he's like, how long have we been on this guy? Like, we've been on this guy for like a solid couple of minutes, right? Like,
Yeah.
quite a while. And it's like, this is not your argument, what the what. This is this guy's argument.
Like, the only thing he's doing for this guy is, like, advertising to any ladies interested in him that they should not fuck him.
Like, I'm not interested. Like, I didn't come to this video, what the what, to hear what this random dude that you've picked off the side of the street has to say. I'm interested in what you have to say, because otherwise I wouldn't have clicked on you.
I wonder if he's done other videos. I wonder if this guy has done other videos, because he
From
might be
what-
giving us a target.
From what I understand, because I've been talking to Unknown about this situation. From what I understand, this guy here does chapter reviews. He's like a manga chapter reviewer type channel or something. Like, he just like
I
talks about
rank-
like the recent chapters.
I rank those almost as low as reaction videos to episodes.
Yeah, that's kind of what he, from what I've understood. I haven't looked at his channel to see a lot, but from what I understand, that's kind of what he does. So, yeah, it's weird. But yeah, like, I don't understand why he's so mad. Like, why are you so mad about this? It's really weird to me. Why? Like, when I first saw the Mal stuff, I was just like, oh, that's a funny meme. That's kind of funny, you know. And then I just went about my day. Like, I didn't care. It's just Mal. Like, it's not. It's like they keep saying it's that fucking like Wojak with the mask and the crying, right? It's
Yeah.
like they keep saying that Mal doesn't matter and Mal is shit and Mal is like doesn't
But
matter.
apparently it
but
does.
But apparently it does if you're getting like this worked up and mad about it.
If you're making
know?
a video calling out this person, then yeah, clearly it does.
Like, but anyway, let's keep going.
10, and then it's like, you know the gnome shit from fucking South Park? It's like step 1, give Ishizoku reviewers a 10 on Mao. Step 2, question mark, because you're not smart enough to think of a step 2. Step 3, flex on Funimation. Like,
Does he think this comes from South Park?
It's a joke about the gnomes where they're collecting socks and they think that they don't think of a step 2. They just have a question mark, and the final step is like profit or whatever. But like he's fucking that up because the flexing on Funimation comes directly from the score. So like he's
Also-
actually fucking this up. So he shouldn't be calling
Also,
anybody
it should
stupid
be
right now.
noted, It should be noted that I believe Nux and his, like, because again I've talked to Unknown about this, right, and Unknown actually has contact with Nux, right. Nux didn't say that the Mal thing was to flex on Funimation. He said that it was to flex on the people that hate the show, right. Like, he was flexing on the people that hated the show and thought it was shit. Kind of like What the What, right?
Oh,
He
so
wasn't-
he's not upset. He's not upset that he's flexing on Funimation. They're upset that he's flexing on them.
Right. And that kind of puts it into perspective because Unknown because I think Unknown.
Unironically, this is the worst video. I think I've said this before, but fuck it, I'll say it. Unironically, this is the worst fucking video we've ever watched just because of how raw and petty it is.
Yeah, and like, because I don't want to like reference Unknown too much, but Unknown was talking to me about this because he's researching to do a video on this, I believe, and he was talking about how he's watched all of Nux's videos about Funimation, and like there's only like one time in one video where he mentions flexing on Funimation, and it's completely a different context and relevance to what's going on here. Like, from what I understand, right, the flex happening right now is on people that dislike the show, not on, and probably on Mao as well, right? Because Mao is shit, right? Not on Funimation. So these guys have just sort of assumed that it's like this massive flex on Funimation when it's, again, they're not the dots are not connecting for me, right? Like, just watching this video, it's like I'm not understanding, right?
And even then, if you can understand that it's mature or it's immature, like, or something like that, why does it bother you? Also, this is supposed to be a review of Interspecies reviewers. They haven't actually said anything yet. This is just him seething at the fact that somebody rigged a mouse score, and it's going on for 19 minutes!
Hey, we're at halfway now. We're 10 minutes away. We're getting there. We're almost there, man. Almost there. Let's keep going.
Where's the correlation between the two other than that it's the same anime?
The full rant is on his channel. Go subscribe. Look, I get that this is a meme. Obviously, it's a meme because again, Mal is a joke of a site. We all know it's a joke, but I'm not the only one who has told you that this is not a good idea. Take Mr. Caribou Coon's word.
Oh look, well, that's just a new person. Let's go next.
Take a note of his name. Yeah, take a note of his name. We're gonna check out this guy's stuff. Look, we're stretching for material now, so now we just have to start scattershotting shit, okay?
So yeah, now we're moving on to the next person that and what just said there was like, you know, it's like, oh, we know it's a meme, we know it's, you know, Mal's a joke or whatever, and then he's like, oh well, we're not the only ones telling you this is a bad idea. Let me go grab my other friend.
But why is it a bad idea? But why is it a bad idea? If it doesn't actually change anything? If they're not going to notice, why is this a bad idea?
Again, why are you so mad? Why are you a hoe that's mad? I don't understand why this.
You can't say hoe's mad. That's actually hate speech now. We're not allowed to say it. Okay.
Oh shit!
I'm canceling your ass. This episode's over.
Damn it! Beep. Okay. Let's see what person number 3 has to say.
That you brushed off.
So Nux is accusing Funimation of stealing his videos, except he's not. I guess his fans saw that and were like, "Hey, what the fuck, Funimation?" And I guess he had to go so far as like having a DM with them and like talking about it. And that.
So again, this is referencing a completely different fucking thing that happened. That's not even related to the interspecies reviewers controversy. It's a completely different fucking drama.
So speaking of rooms, does this guy live in like an Arctic environment that requires a room like this, or does he actually live in his parents' basement?
This looks like a Scandinavian house.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
But is his accent Scandinavian though?
Don't know.
He could be American living in Scandinavia. Who knows? But like his actual this thing about this Funimation stealing content, I talked about this before, right? Like this is not relevant to the interspecies reviewers stuff. It's a completely different drama. So I don't understand why it's being brought up.
Well, it's been dramas ever since he first showed Nux, the sand guy.
Yeah. That's weird, but let's keep going.
He doesn't actually pursue it.
I think
Also,
it
it's so
by
stupid to
stands.
think that only an anime is a thing that Nux came up with. It's
Oh yeah, they're also mad at Nux because he invents memes, apparently. That's another thing they're mad about him. So, let's keep going.
the same fucking lot. His fans think that he came up with the Bakugo is dead meme. He didn't come up with that. He found out about it and then ran it into the ground, and then fans think that was.
So basically, he's PewDiePie.
But
They're mad at him because he's PewDiePie, because he found a meme and then highlighted it, and then it became big, and then it got ran to the ground. Okay.
So what Nux is saying isn't Funimation stole my meme. They're saying that Funimation, he's saying Funimation stole his video, which he's probably exaggerating, but
I mentioned before that he is, and that in the very first part of the video, he mentions that that's not the case, and that it's just not legit, right?
And even then, what does that have to do with anything right now related to interspecies reviewers? At no point during this honest review of interspecies reviewers have we ever actually talked about his opinion on the show. This has just been him.
He just said
bitching about an Anituber.
He just said it was shit in the beginning, and then he's just kind of like,
okay.
No, I gotta fucking flex on this Nuxtaku dude.
And the most we could say to, this is shit, is oh, no, it's not, because that's all he's putting out there.
Yeah, it's it's not shit. There's more to say in it. But anyway, let's keep going.
His thing and his meme. How much more of this is he gonna take from? How much fan art is he going to go uncredited? I don't like it, and you're clearly using the demonization of Funimation for bait.
Speaking of Sans, holy crap, this guy's a skeleton.
It's very interesting, but it's certainly feeding fuel.
There's so little going on that I actually have to make fun of people's looks now.
I will say that this guy's
motherfucker. What?
I will say that this guy's gonna say something in a minute that I think is incredibly interesting, and I think sums up this entire thing completely. So I want us to just be quiet for a second and just listen really carefully and see if you can pick it out.
I think we should be not warming up to these companies or sucking their dick or anything, but kicking them in this whole fucking thing. It's just not healthy and not helpful, and you're one of the biggest people on the platform. If you're making enemies of Funimation, it's going to look bad on the rest of us.
Did you catch that? Did you catch
Why?
that? Did you catch that bit, Lolly? Did you catch that little bit? It's gonna look bad on the rest of us.
So they're worried they're not going to get,
YouTubers?
like... They're worried they're not... First of all, sweetheart, don't inflate yourself that hard. That's not healthy. Speaking of things that aren't healthy, inflating your ego is just gonna let you down when they, like, snub you for, like, I don't know. Secondly...
That mustache.
We're not going to talk about... I'm trying not to look at his looks and talk about his appearance, or the fact that this guy is rocking the pedo stash right now. But, no, so... I guess their whole thing is that... I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about his mustache because of fucking Ellie right now. But no, like, So are they afraid that they're not going to get advertisements or sponsorship or money from that? Because,
See, this is the thing, right? Like, it makes us as in what? Right? Us as in what? AniTube? Right? Does it make AniTube look bad? Does it make me, them
doesn't really need help
personally
with
look
that.
bad? This is the fucking problem I have, right? Because this actually encapsulates the whole thing. They're fucking mad because Nux is memeing, and they think that that damages their brand, right? That's the problem. It's not about interspecies reviewers or anything like that. It's just Nux is being a meme lord. That makes us look bad somehow, right? Therefore... Like, he's like, oh, we shouldn't cocksuck these companies. We shouldn't, like, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it's
but
like...
they are cocksucking them for that sweet monetary semen.
That's the thing! That's the thing, right? Oh, we shouldn't cocksuck these companies, but we should, like, you know, grab the shaft, you know, and we should like, put the tip
Be
up to our
gentle,
lips,
or they might not come back.
Yeah, like, you know, we should... You gotta just kind of nudge it in there, you know? You gotta, you know, just... That's what I find so weird.
My mom's gonna make me go back to school if I don't get money from Manitou. Stop!
That's what I mean. Like, it's weird because they're taking it so seriously. It's like they're taking it so fucking seriously. Like, oh man, it makes us look bad when you shit on Funimation, you know? Like, as if shitting on Funimation is not something that people, like, other AniTubers have done for,
Yeah, so this is like a drop in the bucket, first of all. Secondly, I don't think they care. Like, so you have to think, Funimation is like an actual company with people who have to, like, work 9 to 5. They probably don't even know.
It's an actual company that's fucking owned by Sony.
They probably don't even know that this is going on. There's probably a PR girl like, yeah, there's somebody doing this on, like, Mal or something, and the CEO's like, what the fuck's a Mal?
Do you think, like, Sony is, like, watching Nuxtaku videos? You know? Like, come on now. Like, it's fucking crazy. So yeah, let's keep going.
You catch my drift?
Like, I get you don't care because you have like 1 million subs of fucking 12-year-olds, so it doesn't matter to you because...
Here's another thing, right? 1 million subs of fucking 12-year-olds,
Now he's insulting
right?
another people's viewer base, okay? We're going the classy route. Oh my god, look at where it's paused on. This guy has the humor face right now.
Okay, so... this is the same thing with, like, I love how PewDiePie kind of, like, owned this, right? The idea that his fan base is just 12-year-olds. Like, he had the best response to this, where he just owned it, right? It was just like, yeah, they're all 12-year-olds, so what? You know? Like, because it's such a stupid insult. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you have, like, 1 million people following. Obviously, some percentage of that viewer base is going to be quite young, right? Like, it's just fucking, like, logic, right? I don't see how, like, that's... Like, how is that actually a jab on him? Because the audience is not the person making the content. Like, you're just attacking, like, random people that follow this guy. Like, it's really stupid to me. But anyway, let's let's keep going, I guess.
There's always more 12-year-olds you can get to watch your content. But for other people who will actually want to give AnyTube a good name and do something,
It ain't you people. It ain't you people. I'm sorry.
So, again, this just kind of makes me go, Like, it's all about them. It's all about,
this ain't some communist
makes...
daycare center. We're not all part of the same community.
It's like, it makes us look bad. It makes me look bad. It's okay for you with your 1 million 12-year-olds. No, man, I got like so little, like, no.
You know what this is? This is a think of the children style argument.
Yeah, kind of is, actually. It's like, man, think about, no, but it's think about us. It's think about us. Yeah. Think about the damage you're doing to me.
Mind you, they haven't actually at any point said why this is, why this is causing a problem.
Yeah, like why is this a problem? I don't understand. At least with like Mother's Basement and his like shit about Goblin Slayer or whatever, he'll explain to you, I think it's problematic because of this. Even if it's like stupid, at least he's like actually telling you what his problem is. With these guys, it's like they're not actually they're just saying this is a problem, but I don't see the connection. It's actually the fucking like the gnome meme that he even referenced. It's like get mad about this thing, question mark profit. Like you haven't actually connected the dots to explain to us why this is a big deal. Why are you so mad? I actually want to know.
Like, Funimation isn't going to affect YouTube's monetization. They probably have, even with how like, critical people have been of Crunchyroll still sponsors Anitubers. So there's definitely a PR staff that has enough wherewithal to not assume that everybody on one of the largest internet platforms is the same person, and they're selective in who they pick. Everybody does this.
Of course, anyone that takes Crunchyroll money is heretic. So I mean,
and here's a nice idea on how you stand out from Nuxtaku. You don't talk about him, and you're just like you make your own thing. Just make your own thing, and the company might notice and be like, okay, this person sucks my dick enough.
It's like I said before, right? This guy apparently does like chapter reviews or whatever. How does you doing chapter reviews get affected by the fact that this meme lord on the other side of
we have to assume how they're being effective. Like that's how vague it is. We're having to assume why it is.
Do you think fucking Funimation's gonna pick you up because you like review manga chapters?
Yeah, because they don't even publish that. For me, it's just like what. Oh, ow. I'm actually getting mentally exhausted, like, from this.
Well, dude.
It's just it just seems to be a bunch of AnyTube drama or even manufactured drama.
Yeah. It's
maybe that's what it is. They're just trying to manufacture drama for views, and we fucking fell for it and we're contributing to the problem.
Hey, maybe that's the flex. Maybe that's the flex. We fell for the fucking bait. We took the bait. Maybe that's the thing. But Lolly, trust me, we haven't gotten to the good bit yet.
Are you serious? There's more to this shit. Oh my god, we have 8 minutes left.
Get ready. Buckle the fuck up.
People see anime with their content, or help people, be able to explain why they like their favorite shows or whatever. You're just giving AnyTube a bad name, right? Like, there are so many people in the anime community that think that AnyTube is a joke, right? You have people like...
But there's so many things that are wrong, so we can't.
Love Live killed Mecha. Anything that Mother's Basement has said the entire time on YouTube.
Pass over
and now
this
anyone who goes to Mao
drama.
looks and sees Ishizoku reviewers at, like, number 4, right? And it's like, oh my god.
Just a side note, this image is photoshopped. This isn't real. It never got to number 1. It got to like number... I think it got to like number 3 or 2, but it never got to a score of 9.28. I think the highest it got was like 9.21 or 9.20. I don't think it ever got to number 1. So I think that's actually fake. Just throwing that out there. So it's cool.
Why is this show so high? Because, like, people when they're fucking new and getting into anime will go to Mal and go to the top anime and start watching that shit.
Okay. So Mal doesn't matter. Mal's a shit site. Mal's irrelevant. But new people are going to go to Mal and they're going to use that to decide what they're going to watch.
So apparently it does matter. Yeah.
Yeah, so it does matter, doesn't it? Like this again, it's so fucking spastic. It's like, oh well, it doesn't matter, but then it does matter. But no, it doesn't actually matter. Oh, but like, oh no, but they have
child
standards,
is
but they're
on the
not...
floor and it's kicking. It's kicking and
Yeah.
screaming because something that
Yeah.
it doesn't like happened.
Yeah, the baby's done a doo-doo in its diapers, right? It's like, oh, they have standards, but they're not. They might not be moral standards, but they might be moral standards. Yeah, it's literally just like he keeps back and forthing himself. It's really fucking weird. Like, dude, just be consistent. Like, come on. Anyway.
Right? I know I did. I know a bunch of other people who did, because you want to see what like the best stuff is, or the most liked stuff is. So you see this, and people will ask you,
Dude, listen. You look at the fucking Annie chart, right? You go, hey, that show looks pretty good. I might watch that. And then you watch that show and you decide if you think it's good or not. And then what you do is you go on Twitter or you go on YouTube and you go, huh, what are people talking about? People talking about
Look,
Goblin
if he
Slayer?
doesn't,
Huh.
if he doesn't know what other people like, he can't talk about it, and he can't milk them for that sweet YouTube monetization. And his mom's
This
gonna
is what
kick
I
him
mean.
out of the basement.
I have never in my life gone to Mal to look at the scores on Mal. Ever. In my life. I have always just been like word of mouth. Like someone will tell me, like, I have like friends. I know that's probably like a foreign concept to these people, right? Because they're all in their little echo chamber of their own little friend groups, right? But I have like friends
Hey,
of mine.
hey, don't be so mean
Hey.
to me.
I have these like friends, right, that I talk to that have different tastes, and they'll tell me, hey, there's this like show that's coming out that I'm watching that I think is like, you know, maybe like it's different. I like it. Maybe you might not like it, but hey, here's a recommendation. I think it's good. Or I'll go on Twitter and I'll see people that I follow just talking about like, huh, this is like a little sleeper hit of the series. You know, this is just this random like show. You know, it might be pretty good. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll put that on the list. You know, and maybe I might not watch it seasonally. Maybe I'll put something like Overlord on my list of shows to watch, and I'll get to it when I feel like watching it. Maybe. Maybe you don't have to, like, chase the trends and just go with what everyone else is saying. Maybe you can, like, make your own decisions and mind up. Just a thought. Let's continue.
How else
no,
is he gonna
why is
consume?
Ishizoku Reviewers rated so high? It's like, oh, some fucking dumb fuck AniTube who has like 3 brain cells decided to, you know, get everyone to rate it.
Like,
Don't zoom in, and he looks like a school shooter right now.
look at his eyes. He's so mad. He's so fucking angry. Like,
now
oh wow,
he's laughing.
Oh wow.
Now he's shooting the school.
What?
Oh, Ellie changed the. I don't know how. Like
No.
the video jumped. The video jumped, and now he's like fucking really happy about something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But anyway, let's continue.
It's not satire when it's the 4th rated show on Mal. Like, that's.
I can't even pick out what he's saying. That's how spastic he
Okay,
is.
okay, hang on. It jumped there for a second. I'm just gonna take it back a little because it jumped for just a second. All right, back to Ming. All right.
Oh,
Some
he's
AniTube who has like
very
3 brain cells decided to,
eyebrows
you know,
furrowed.
get everyone to rate it at 10. They're like, oh, okay, so AniTube's just a fucking joke. You know, you hide behind a satire show. Oh, it's just a joke. It's just satire. No, motherfucker, it's not. It's not satire when it's the 4th rated show on Mal. Like, that's not how it works. And, you know, people like to defend it by being like, oh.
It's just contradicting himself 3
Yeah.
times in a single opinion.
And
Mel is important. It's not. It's okay to do something with Mel to show how broken it is, but it's not. But if you do it too successfully, it's bad. Because new
And a
people
tube
might
is a
go
joke,
use it.
and people might think it's a joke, and then you have to explain to them it's not a joke. Okay, so who the hell hears about a joke, like, being done? Like, oh, this one AniTuber did this one thing, and that's why this is at top. Who the fuck, like, thinks that and is like, oh, well, I mean, this entire fucking community must be one massive joke that only ever does
Again,
things like this.
Again, they take this so fucking seriously. Like,
There's no way this guy can claim that this is a flex or joke video. He is actually seriously upset about something that does
Yeah.
not affect him.
this is like, they're so upset. and I don't understand why. Why are you so mad about this fucking thing? Like, this guy here who's ranting is getting so worked up about this. It's like it's like you said. It's like someone. It's like Nux.
If I was in the if I was in the same if I was in the same room as him, I would actually be worried. He looks like
I'd be telling him.
He
to
looks
calm
like he's
the
going to
fuck
shoot
down.
a place up.
Yeah, like, calm the fuck down, man. Like, it's not a big deal. It actually legitimately is not a big deal. No one... I find it ironic because, like, earlier we were talking about, oh, no one's gonna fucking remember this in a few months. So, yeah. It's like, legitimately no one's gonna care about this in, like, a week.
But apparently it still has a long-lasting impact vaguely on YouTubers.
Apparently it has irreparably damaged the reputation of these fucking Anitubers, right? That are so fucking, like, high and mighty on their high horse. Oh, man, we're so fucking, like, highbrow, you know? We, like, review fucking manga chapters and talk about Love Live in, like, 50 different videos.
I fucking reviewed Kaguya-sama. I'm an auteur.
Yeah, I put out a video. I put out a video about how fucking the dude in Dr. Stone is a communist. I'm such a fucking respected analytical YouTuber. Right?
I'm the most I used to be a respected movie critic. God, we're gonna bring that back.
like, they take it so fucking seriously. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
it's just
say the offer is dead a couple of times, and you're basically the highest brow YouTuber there is.
Yeah, totally. God,
look up Wikipedia and starting dates on web novels, and immediately you're the most knowledgeable person ever.
Yeah. So let's hopefully. How long? Like this? Like we've been on these people for so long, right?
Well,
like,
somebody keeps pausing.
I know, but it's like there's so much shit, right? It's hard because there's like so much I want to like rant about. But it's like we've been on these people like in terms of the video's actual length, right? Of this 19-minute video, like
you keep going. I'm gonna get some fucking Cheetos. Jesus Christ.
All right, you get some Cheetos, and hopefully this guy will be off the screen by then.
The point of the matter isn't whether or not Ishizoku Reviewers is good. That doesn't matter. What matters is that people see that it's. And yeah, okay. Wow, next you showed that you have a bunch of 12-year-olds who will do anything you say because they're too young to have actual functional thought. Good for you, dog. I can't believe it. You know, you're so fucking cool. But, like, fuck off. Like, you didn't do anything. All you did was just make yourself look like an idiot.
Did he claim to have done anything?
I don't know. I haven't watched or followed.
I don't know
drama.
either, but it's like I don't know either, but it's like did he like claim that he like did this to try and do something? Like again, I don't think the meme is that deep. You know, I don't think that it's that deep. I think it's just, hey, he's a meme lord. He did a funny thing, you know? Like, he's not the first person to do this. Like, PewDiePie does this type of thing all the time, where he, like, makes memes and does funny shit that the internet kind of laps up. Like, subscribe to PewDiePie. Do we all remember that one, right? Where people were, like, hacking into printers and printing
He had to
shit.
forcefully shut it down himself.
Yeah, like, again, I don't see how, like, it's this deep.
Bringing it
like,
back to the shooter thing. At what point is somebody going to say the phrase, this is for interspecies review, or cock a gun, and then we have a live action shooting?
Fuck the optics, I'm going in. But that's the thing, these guys care so much about this optics shit, right? They're actually being optics cucks right now. They're like, oh man, this makes us look so bad. You know? And I know I'm guilty of that sometimes too. I get a little bit like that. But it's like, for fuck's sake. It's just a meme, bro. But let's keep going.
To anyone with an actual brain, like, that's developed and has been through puberty. So, you know, not your fan base.
Not you, given by how
subscribe
much
to Vindy,
acne's
fucking
on your
follow
face.
Vindy on Twitch, fuck Nuxtaku.
You know, considering this is a joke, you're so bad at it that you're not even participating. Oh, look at that. Wow. But
What? Maybe he just hasn't caught up on the show yet. Maybe he's busy. You know, like, what does that prove? Also, Lolly, are you there? Just making sure, because we're about to
I think everybody's brain is dead right now. Keep going.
Hey.
Okay. I'm just gonna tell you right now. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the reason that we're doing this video.
Only took 2 hours.
It only took 2 hours, but I want you to buckle the fuck up and get ready for this argument. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Alright.
Play
I'm
it.
gonna hit play.
But aside from the whole stain on the reputation of AniTube, aside from cementing Mal as a joke of a website, there is this idea that Ishizoku reviewers being taken down by Funimation is morally wrong. Something that you even agree with, it seems. Now, let me get something into your heads. The world is not run by Funimation. Tokyo MX and several other services have taken Ishizoku reviewers down.
Okay. It's a little bit ahead. Alright, I keep fucking like... I keep forgetting when it is, but this point though, MX didn't cancel the show because of moral reasons. They didn't. That's not what happened. At least that's not what I've been told has happened. What the more likely scenario was, it was to do with time slots, and from what I understand, it was something along the lines of the show is already airing on ATX, which is the adult streaming, or the adult channel, right? So from what I understand, they took the show off MX because they wanted to use the time slot for something else, and no one was watching it on MX because everyone was watching it on ATX, right?
Yeah.
So this idea, so it's weird that What the What is now being like, oh look, multiple places have taken the show down. That clearly means that Funimation was justified in taking it down. It's
Here's
like,
the thing, though. Tokyo MX is or Tokyo Metropolitan Channel. That's a public channel. But it's still airing on other public channels in Osaka and Kyoto. Like, I actually looked into this. So, it clearly isn't a problem necessarily with the content because it's late at night. It is actually just, it's conflicting with the time slot in that area.
Like, Funimation taking it down, like, I can agree that I don't think it's a moral issue. Like, Funimation taking it down has shit to do with morals at this point, right? I think that, again, like, I might have assumed that at the start, but that's because we didn't have info, right? And we still don't have that info, right? So I think it's reasonable to say that, hey, maybe they didn't take it down for moral reasons. Maybe there's something else going on. But using the cancellation on MX and, you know, other places, right? A lot of other places have cancelled it just because they were getting their shit from Funimation, right? Like I think, I can't remember what other streaming services, like, because a lot of streaming services just buy shit from Funimation to stream. I know Anime Lab does that, and Anime Lab actually had to source their own subbers.
As Amazon Prime cancelled it because they get all their subs from Funimation as well.
Exactly. So there's, again, the idea that, oh, well, lots of places, again, it shows a lack of research, right? Because the idea that, oh, well, a lot of other stations have taken it down, you know, it proves that it was morals, or it proves that it wasn't morals, or whatever. It's like, no, it's not the same, dude. It's not the same. But anyway, let's continue.
After finding out what Passion did to change the source material, Funimation is not the sole bad guy.
Okay, so he said that they took it down because they found out what Passion had to do to change the source material.
Keep it, or try it again because it didn't start playing on my end.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back to the start of the video, if I can. Okay, this will do.
That. Wow. But aside from the whole stain on the reputation of AniTube, aside from cementing Mal as a joke on the website, there is this idea that Ishizoku reviewers being taken down by Funimation is morally wrong. Something that you even agree with, it seems. Now, let me get something into your heads. The world is not run by Funimation. Tokyo MX and several other services have taken Ishizoku reviewers down after finding out what Passion did to change the source material.
No, that's wrong. They didn't take it down after finding out what Passion had to do to change the source material. That's not. You have no proof of that at all. He has no proof of that. So why is he saying?
Yeah,
that?
We don't actually have any proof on that.
No, well, like, I don't like my assumption about time slots. We don't even have any proof about that, right? But that's the thing. That is a reasonable, logical reason, right, as to why it was taken down from MX. That's not, like, again, it's weird.
Because if it was because of that, and they were concerned about, because they are public broadcasting, if they were actually concerned about that, why haven't other television or stations in Kyoto and place like haven't they followed suit as well?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It does. It literally doesn't make any sense, and I don't think it was. Again, he mentions it's because of the alterations they had to do to the show to make it broadcastable. It's like, no, they do that kind of thing all the time.
And
They
here's
have
the
this
thing: they
shows all
already
the time.
the studios already looked at the material that they changed, and they already altered it for the broadcast.
Yeah.
That's why there's different broadcast versions for the ATX version and the MX version.
Yeah, like they go through the material before they air it, obviously, because they, like they make sure that it's okay to air. Like they're not just gonna, fucking put it out there and not actually check it, are they? Like again, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's keep going.
Funimation is not the sole bad guy. You might as well be doing this to fucking own the entire anime industry, because this is clearly not the...
Why not? Why
That's
not
it.
own the entire anime industry? Why not?
Yeah, why not criticize how the system might actually kind of make problems like this, because it's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
That's legitimate criticism
Yeah,
of the industry.
Yeah, why not fucking flex on the anime industry? Why not? This is what I hate. I hate this. Like, it goes back to the whole like, oh, you got to support the industry. The whole like anti-piracy thing with Funimation and Crunchyroll. It's like, oh, you got to support the industry, or you fucking leech, you parasite. It's like, no, the industry doesn't.
The
isn't
anime
owed
industry isn't the anime industry isn't a monolith. You can criticize it.
Yeah, like I'm not. They're not owed shit by me. I will criticize. I will fucking criticize the fact that they pay their workers slave wages. I will fucking criticize the fact that, the anime industry is, running off a licensing system that is inherently anti-consumer and causing massive problems, right? I will fucking criticize that shit all fucking day, right? I will do it all day. And you can't fucking stop me, what the what. Alright? I will flex on that anime industry. So I don't see how that's a problem. But let's keep going.
The fault of just one company. You're free to live in this magical world where Funimation is the only one at fault. But unlike you, I live in reality, and I know you know that fact.
No, you don't, fag.
You are just misleading your audience of 1 million subscribers to believe otherwise, whether intentionally, which it totally is, or unintentionally. There also appears to be a strange misplacement of standards. Sure, this isn't actually a movement, as you say, it's just a meme. You're flexing on apparently no one because Funimation doesn't care, and Mal is doing nothing but benefiting.
Nobody
from this.
cares, so why does it matter? Why are you so fucking upset?
Yeah.
We are watching somebody. We are watching somebody do the equivalent of making a scene in public because they're upset about
thumbnail.
something and can't.
Can we make the thumbnail for this video that Wojak, but we put what's fucking
Yeah.
cap on it?
I can
It's
try.
just,
Yeah.
Photoshop out his hat and just put his hat on like the fucking Wojak, because I feel like that would be pretty apt. Because it's like, holy shit, dude. But anyway, actually, I might make one of those for you later. I'll make a shitty one for you later. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's get in.
By fixing its systems. But I can't help but wonder if, since you have so much power and the ability to flex, as it was, why do you not feel the need to do so for a better cause? This applies.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Lolly? Buckle up.
Are you
Buckle
kidding me?
the
This
fuck
still isn't the worst part of the video.
up. No, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the moment. And he was so proud of this that he tweeted this part of the script out. Right? So buckle the fuck up and listen.
To everybody going along with a stupid meme, not just you, Nux, because everybody involved in this, including the other anti-tubers who are giggling and guffawing at this stupid bullshit, are just as well at fault. You all chose Ishizoku Reviewers, a show that is not that good, not that funny, and that you 100% will stop caring about in a couple months. Why not do this funny meme to flex on someone who deserves it? As most people would hopefully know,
Get
the
ready.
mangaka for Chihaya Furu recently said that she supported the Hong Kong protesters. This obviously did not make the Chinese very happy.
Oh my god,
So
are
in
you
response, they were-
shitting me? He's seriously making the fucking, oh, well, the children in Africa, though, argument. Okay, first of all, what the
So-
hell are people going to be able to do about Chinese bots?
Okay, first of all, this is the first time I've heard of this. Right? Now I'm not gonna make my point yet because I want to finish. I want to get past this and then make my point. But like, this is the first time I've heard about this. Why? Like, what? I didn't know.
Why didn't you make a video on it then? Why didn't he make a video on this? Why he could have done that right now?
Yeah.
If he actually gave a fuck.
That was my point. That was my point. It's like, why are you? But I was gonna save that for later because listen.
Bunch of Chinese fake accounts on Mal to mass lower the score of Chihaya Furu Season 3. This doesn't actually affect the manga, mind you, but it will cause people who are uninformed to think.
But
that
you
the
said
first
Mal
season
didn't
was
matter.
solely for the-
Wait for it.
The score. Huh. What does that sound like? That sounds very similar to a situation going on right now. Now, once again,
Oh my
do
god.
not harass anyone. This was merely a lesson in the art of the flex. This video is satire.
Listen.
It's satire, everybody. Who's to say whether or not I am implying seriously that everyone involved in this stupid meme unironically believes that the
Holy shit.
is not mad.
Did you hear it? Do you need me to
No,
play
no,
it again
keep-
because you talked over it?
Yeah, keep going. Cause I'm a little bit behind you guys.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Anime all of you are watching illegally anyway. But seriously, satirically speaking,
Do you want to hear it again? Because he was doing that whispery thing and it was very quiet, and I wanted.
Oh,
to
so
listen
he was saying that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You don't care about
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, listen very carefully.
sounds very similar to a situation going on right now. Now, once again, do not harass anyone. This was merely a lesson in the art of the flex. This video is satire. It's satire, everybody. Who's to say whether or not I am implying seriously that everyone involved in this stupid meme unironically believes that the Hong Kong protest did not matter in comparison to an anime.
Are you shitting me?
Anyway. But seriously, satire.
Are you shitting me?
No.
So again, you know how many people are still talking about the fucking Hong Kong protest?
A lot. Did you know, Lolly, that people can be mad?
You can't
two
care
things at
about
once?
anything else. If you care about anything
Yeah.
else, you do not care about the Hong Kong protest.
Yeah. I care about the coronavirus. That means I don't care about the Hong Kong protest, Lolly. I just don't. I'm sorry. Fuck the Hong Kong protests.
He's doing the mom being like, oh, well, you should be grateful for what you're eating. You could be in Africa right now.
Yeah. He tweeted this part of the script out, right? And that was, someone linked it to me, and I was like, there is no way. There is no actual way he said that unironically in a video. I was like, there's no fucking way. And then the video came out, and I watched it, and I was like, yeah, we have to cover this. Because there's no way. There's no fucking way, right, that he is, like, saying... Because he's trying to pull it off, to pull the whole, like, oh, well, you know, Nuxtaku masks everything behind not being serious, so I'm going to do the same thing. But he's clearly being serious, right? Like, he's clearly being serious in what he's saying right now. And it's like, seriously, dude. You can't be for real.
If you cared so much about what was happening with the Chihaya Fura after, why didn't he make a video? Because, I mean,
Yeah,
apparently
exactly.
if he has so much reach that he's, apparently has
here's
a bit
the
of a viewership.
Well, here's the thing. His argument is, well, why did Nux do it? Because Nux has got 1 million subs and he has the power to do this shit and I don't. It's like, fucker, you have more subs than we do. Why, we're going to do the same thing to you. Why didn't you make a video about this thing that we care about? You know? Why didn't you do it? Oh, that's right. Because you don't actually fucking care about it, do you? You don't actually fucking care about interspecies reviewers, right? You just wanna shit on this Nux Taku person, right? And you're using this as an excuse.
This is, of course, a flex and all satire.
I'm sorry, but it's like, I was watching this yesterday and I was like, there's how can one man be so fucking petty? How can one man, like, be this fucking
So
gross and
with his arguments about Japanese cartoons and fucking Monster Girls and reviewing them, he felt the need to dredge up a legitimate social movement to further his own point.
Yeah.
That is scummy
Pretty
as
much.
fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Unironically, that is the scummiest fucking thing. You could have done any other proactive thing if you actually fucking cared about what was happening.
Yeah, why did, again, it's like we've said like 3 times now, it's like, why didn't you make a video on it? I don't
He's
see a
proud
video
of
on it.
this. He is actually proud
Yeah.
of this.
I look at his channel, I looked at his channel, like, to see if he actually did put out a, like, video or something about this. I didn't see anyone. Maybe I'm wrong. If you did, fucking point it out. Maybe we'll cover it. I don't know. You know, like, just fucking prove me wrong. Fucking what? Prove me
Well, I
wrong.
mean, nobody's
and
gonna remember. Nobody's gonna remember anything
Gonna
about
remember-
the Chinese
no.
protests and
No.
yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter.
No one's gonna remember in a few months. Yeah, no. It's not like, you know, it's still a problem. You know.
No,
It's
you
not-
know what? This person
it's
is
not like-
actually
it's
worse than
not like
Jerry
the-
Freeman.
Okay, it's
I'm
not
gonna
like,
say that
you
right
know,
now.
It's not like there was news about the fucking Prime Minister of fucking Hong Kong, like, going out wearing a fucking mask because of the coronavirus and supporting the fucking mask ban, right? That's not a thing that apparently happened that I saw in the news recently, you know? Like, oh, clearly the Hong Kong protests just don't, you know, it was months ago, you know, it's old news, you know? Totally.
Why
Fucking
didn't
totally.
he tweet? If he noticed this and he gave a shit, and nobody realized that this was a thing, because I never heard of this, so apparently a
Me
lot
neither.
of the outrage is kind of a communication problem. Why didn't he tweet this out to, like, I don't know, a major news source or something, that this is going on, that this is actually happening? But of course it doesn't
if he
matter because
cared-
Mal doesn't matter, apparently.
Yeah, well, this is like, if he cared so much, why didn't he talk about it? Where is, like, you know, did he tweet about it? Did he post a video about it? Did he make, like, a big deal out of it? Did he, like, fucking signal boost it everywhere? No. I don't see it. You know? Where is it? Why is it
Disingenuous
such a...
piece of shit. Oh my god. No, yeah, this is
Right.
this guy's actually worse than Jerry Freeman. I respect Jerry Freeman more than this man right now, because at the very least, with how bad Jerry Freeman has been, at least he didn't prop up another social cause to try to further his own arguments
to try
or
and get
ego.
clout.
He just makes fun of the Konami burning and all that stuff.
I
Alright.
mean, but at
Let's
no
keep
point
going.
did he like, you know, did he prop it up and be like, man, you guys didn't do anything to stop this, but you know, you currently care so much about fucking X show being cancelled. I don't fucking know.
You care so much about your anime titties, but you don't care about fucking Hong. This is like that shit. What was the video? Did we cover that video, or was it another video I watched where someone was like talking? No, it was the whole shit about Pat and the censorship of Tokyo Mirage Sessions, right? Where he was bitching at people for being so mad about the anime titties and not about, like, the levels being altered or some shit. And he was trying to, like, equate that to the devotion shit that happened, where China censored, like, those devs because they put, like, a fucking meme in the
How did
game
Hong
by
Kong
accident.
become the new starving kids in Africa joke?
No, but that's what I mean, right? Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing where it's like, oh, why didn't you care about this thing that you actually did care about and you actually did talk about, but I'm just going to ignore the fact that you did, right? Like, people gave a fuck about the Hong Kong protests. People still give a fuck about the Hong Kong protests, right? Like, people are still getting fucked over by that shit, right?
And maybe
But
if you
according
fucking
to-
signal
according to
boosted
what the
this
what?
thing, and apparently,
Yeah, but according to what, because this one specific instance of someone getting fucked over by the Chinese protests didn't go fucking viral, that means that, oh, because you care more about this anime titty thing and making fun of Funimation's shitty incompetence, because, I'll just fucking say it, they're a shitty fucking company, and if you give them money, you are fucking literally supporting parasites, right? I'm actually mad, right? Like, if you're literally saying that if that people caring about that and talking about the Funimation shit and memeing about it and doing like funny community shit like, oh lol, we made the Mal score, fucking whatever. You're literally saying that because people are doing that, they don't care about the Hong Kong protests? No, fuck you. Literally fuck you. It's fucking gross. But anyway. God. Right. Let's try and finish this.
Strictly speaking, if you had the power to do something like change the Mal score and wanted to do something that was mostly harmless yet take your anger out, why would you choose a show like this? And not the one that was the victim of hate towards the Hong Kong protests. It would have been no different as a meme, but for some reason y'all felt it was more important and epic to give a 9 to some show that no one cared about.
But people did.
Until the drama. What you are...
Oh my god.
People cared about it before the drama, you fuckwit.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I actually
I'm pissed
am.
Too. People cared about, like, the show. Look, from what I was seeing, right, the show was
No, this
actually
isn't even about anime anymore. He's using the actual suffering of people to further his own petty argument with fucking Anatube over a rigged mouse score. You petty piece of shit.
It's fucking wrong, you know? It's actually, like, that's why I was like, we have to cover this, because this is...
How are you
like,
proud of this?
Like, Freeman has shitty opinions. Maname Matt has shitty opinions. What the What is doing something actually kind of shitty here. Right?
I would at
Like,
least buy a beer for him from Anime Matt.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that kind of like needs a bit of emotional support. He needs a bro to kind of like give him a beer. But this, no, what the what? This is like, I can't see how you don't understand what's wrong with this, right? Oh, the video jumped again. I don't know why it does that. It might be something with Ellie.
No, I'm not touching anything.
I don't know, it's weird. Like, it'll be on something, and then it'll, like, jump. So I'm just gonna pull it back. Okay, that'll do. So, yeah, he's saying that, like, why didn't you do something then? If you cared so much about this Hong Kong shit, where were you? What were you doing? Right? Like, just because people care about this one thing now doesn't mean that they don't care about other things. You can care about multiple things at the same time. Right? I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not losing my mind, right? Like, I have, like, the mental capacity, right? Maybe What the What doesn't have the mental capacity, but, like, you know... Maybe he can only think about one fucking controversy at a time and then they disappear. Right?
Well, he thinks that everybody else is so inbred that they also are incapable of, you know, not having object permanence. So he's like, man, if they don't talk about this, they're gonna think it no longer exists.
Yeah, totally. It's like, fuck, man. God damn it. Right, let's keep going.
No one cared about until the drama.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to talk about that, right? No one cared about it until the drama. No, that's objectively wrong. The show wasn't a popular trend, right? It was actually trending positively and popularity-wise, it was rising before the drama even happened, right? I was talking. Unknown actually was interviewing me. Oh yeah, it jumped again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Whatever, it's fine.
Okay. Unknown was like talking to me about this. He was interviewing me because he wanted to like get people's opinions about this, right? And I'll say what I said to him, right? The show was like, in terms of the talk about it and the popularity about it, I would say it was at least ranked probably within the top 10, top 5 if I'm being charitable. Because people were talking about it. They were talking about how raunchy it was and how it's pushing boundaries and how, like, there was a thread from someone that I saw where they were like positively talking about how it portrays sex work, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And there's heaps of people talking about the show and how interesting it is and how it's portraying different things and how it's, like, you know, I had a really good discussion with Joe, you know, about it on Unknown's, like, podcast thing where he was doing WoW fucking rating, right? And I had a really good discussion with him about, like, the many different layers going on here and the way it's showcasing different things. There's a lot in here that's not just, oh, lol, boobs, you know? But because What the What is so fucking blind, he just sees, oh look, it's just another Richie show. Oh, it's just so
No,
so fucking
not even
basic,
that.
bitch.
This video isn't about Ishozoku reviewers. It's about some internal petty drama. It's any YouTuber drama. It has nothing to do with Ishozoku reviewers.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like,
And trying to dunk on somebody, he revealed himself to be a massive asshole.
yeah, and like, again, what he's saying right here, oh, no one was talking about the show, oh, it wasn't popular, that's objectively bullshit. Fucking A&N. The reason I know that this is bullshit, A&N trashed Nekopara. They said it was creepy, they said it was, you know, weird and creepy and whatever. They talked positively about interspecies reviews. They gave it glowing fucking like recommendations and reviews when they talked about it.
They're still doing the episode reviews even though Funimation dropped it.
Yeah. So bullshit. No one was talking about it. A&N, which is as bad as I hate to say it, one of the biggest anime sites for news and getting information out there, is cited on numerous other sites as being the source of getting information, right? Even they, when they're shown to, their writers have been shown to trash the show, talked about it positively, and therefore have probably given it a positive like outlook for the rest of the community. So I refuse to believe that no one was talking about this show. I think that's objectively bullshit, but let's continue.
9 to some show that no one cared about until the drama. What you are essentially telling me is that you believe the lives and human rights of those in Hong Kong are insignificant to the right to awooga, humna, 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 over bad, unfunny pseudo-porn. Nice. Good standards you have there. Satire, once again, satire.
Pause. No, it's not satire, fuck yourself. No, and what you're essentially saying, sweetheart, is that the lives and, I mean, by the same logic, the lives and suffering of people fighting for their right to just be a free society apparently is just a stepping stone for you to yell at somebody you have personal beef with. I mean, by the same token, by the same logic.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's saying.
This is just a flex. This is just a flex.
It's just satire.
This is just a flex and just satire.
I get what he's trying to do here. He's trying to be like, oh well, Nux just says that it's a meme, so if I just say that it's a meme, I can prove that he's fucking wrong because that you know, it allows me to say all this actually pretty fucking shitty stuff, you know. And I am amazed that people are not calling him out on this. I actually am really shocked that he hasn't gotten a lot of flack for this Hong Kong shit, because this is actually a really shitty point. Like, it's really fucking wrong. Like, I don't normally get, like, I try not to get, like, personally offended by stuff, right? But in this case, I can actually say that this did offend me. Like, I was actually offended by the mere idea that because I give a fuck about, like, the incompetence of Funimation, not even the show, like, just the incompetence of Funimation, the fact that I give a fuck about that means I don't care about the Hong Kong protests. Nah, fuck that. That's fucking gross. Let's keep going. And why is that not okay to criticize? Again, why is it not okay to hold their feet to the fire about that?
Let's just keep going, because I think we're just going to retread ground at this point.
Yeah, we keep repeating ourselves. Let's keep going. Oh, you get ready
Can't get
for
in trouble
this.
if I'm just making a joke. There is a point where I have to wonder what exactly people's priorities are, because this should be pretty cut and reviewers' intent is to make you laugh and jack off. If you were jacking off during the Goblin Slayer scene, and thus makes you equivalate the two, I honestly just don't want you anywhere near me, bro.
You have
Just
no right
stay
to
over there.
criticize people. Holy shit.
What's wrong with liking rape in porn?
I mean, I can
Is it
understand where he's coming from, why it would be skeevy for people. But at the same time, like... I mean,
Oh, you
as
can't.
somebody who, like, didn't really, like, find the scene fetishistic, I would actually say, yeah, the part of the reason that was in Goblin Slayer was to be on some level fetishy. Yeah.
There's also the fact that it's like, yeah, it's not, it's still. I brought this up when the Goblin Slayer shit was going on. It's still sex. It's still sexual. You can't remove the, like, if you actually show the rape, you can't remove the sexual nature of it. It's an inherently sexual act. Obviously, some people are going to get aroused by that because it's sexual, right?
Yeah.
And again, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with having a rape fetish? There are many women that have that fetish. He does realize this, right? Like,
We should
long
not
as
get
you're
too
not
hung
going
up
out.
on this.
Yeah, as long as you're not going out and doing that in real life, who gives a shit?
yeah. There's a reason why fetishes are fetishes and not like something that people like normally act at. Like, you can have, like, do you think like Vor people are going out and being cannibals? You know, like,
We just don't know.
yeah, we just don't know. But yeah, this point is really stupid. I think it's, yeah, he has no right to criticize people after what he just did.
Funimation's
I'm
standard is
exhausted.
clearly that they don't want porn without penetration under their name. They have to make money. And if they deem that
Oh, so now it is about the moral standards. so now it is because they don't want porn on the platform, even though they have raunchy stuff on the platform. Like that is porn that doesn't have penetration. Like, you know, we've already said. Again, it's just they keep contradicting themselves. They keep going back and forth, right? It's like, what? Oh, fucking Christ! I gotta keep going.
this will damage their brand by having it on there, then that's up to
They're
them.
not damaging
It's
it.
stupid and comical and funny in the right lens, but is it wrong of them to do so? No, not at all. And I ain't even using their dumbass service. I don't watch
Then
dubs,
why
and
do
I
you
know
give a
none of you
shit?
are either. Are you really gonna tell me that you want to sit through 20
It's
minutes
all
of black
about
screen
the
with hentai
YouTube
audio? That
drama.
more than anything is probably the reason why they took it down. Because they also show these episodes on television. It probably is more of an issue of retaining the quality of the work while also having to censor it for TV standards. Something that they are
Nah, bullshit. They have a censored version they can use. It exists. They don't have to show the uncensored version on TV, and they don't have to show, like, I don't understand. Right? It's bullshit. Also, it jumped again, so I'm just gonna go back. Let's continue.
audio, that more than anything is probably the reason why they took it down. Because they also show these episodes on television. It probably is more of an issue of retaining the quality of the work while also having to censor it for TV standards. Something that they are not alone in. They're not the only ones at fault. Why is it
No, they didn't do it for moral reasons in the MX case, most likely. Again, he's trying to use that as like a fucking excuse. It's not an excuse, dude. It doesn't work like that. Let's keep going.
anyone doing this to flex on Tokyo MX or any of the other platforms that took this show down? Because none of you actually care. And that's what pisses me off.
Dude, you don't fucking care. Why do you fucking care? You don't fucking care. What are you talking about?
It's all just in service of any tube drama.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
We have the opportunity to make our voices actually heard, and every single time, we choose to be a bunch of whiny clowns. You people moral high ground about honesty and transparency, but can't be fucked to do actual research and figure out why things are happening the way they are. Some of you do.
That's fucking rich. So rich coming from this fuckwit.
Just keep going, because I want to
even
finish
knowingly,
this
which
video.
is
I'm actually
probably
pissed
the
off
most
now.
manipulative and dishonest thing I've ever seen since underpaying my editors and not crediting artists. If the anime community isn't taken seriously, if companies see us as nothing but whiny brats who just want our way, and if no one bothers to approach
Why?
Yeah, I don't really care about how companies. I mean,
Yeah.
until we have money to buy Naruto a Switch. Naruto has the most to lose in this. Nerds,
Yeah,
what's your opinion?
I don't. Why does he care so much about what a company thinks? Look, Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about what you think. They just put out the product and people buy it. Funimation doesn't give a fuck about what people on Mao think about this fucking show. Right? They don't care. You've said multiple times in this video that it doesn't matter. Why does it matter? Like, this is, again, it's this petty fucking drama bullshit, right? But it's also got this layer of, why aren't you taking me seriously? Why isn't the anime community taken seriously?
Because you review
guys?
cartoons online. That's why nobody takes you seriously. Fuck.
Why isn't the anime YouTubers given respect and taken serious? Dude, people make fucking fun of all kinds of YouTubers. We make fun of gaming YouTubers and fucking like political YouTubers and
Movie
shit,
reviewers.
Right? Everyone gets fucking shat on. You're not fucking special because you fucking, like, talk about Love Live and go into your deep emotional connections with your waifus and shit, right? You're not a fucking, like, genius master fucking essayist, right? You're a fuckwit online talking about Chinese cartoons, right? Just like we are fuckwits online talking about fuckwits online who talk about Chinese cartoons, right?
Please look
Get
forward.
over yourself.
Please
No,
look
get on.
forward.
No,
No. I want to say, please look forward to my video on anime cartoons.
yeah.
Fuck
look
yourself,
forward
Ellie.
to
No.
Fuck you. No, fuck you, what the what? You don't deserve to be taken seriously. Because you don't act like you deserve to be taken seriously. You act like a fucking child, right? I'm not going to take you seriously when you act like this, right? But anyway, we're almost there. We're 1 minute away.
Anything with proper research, especially those who hold influence and power, it's no one's fault but our own. So what I'm saying is, overall I give Ishizoka Reviewers a 9 out of 10. Just like the number of brain cells I lost while watching this go down. Fuck all of you. Watch Koisuga Astro instead. Thank you everybody for watching.
Pause it. We're not gonna
that show that he recommended.
Look, okay, he may think that everybody else is a clown, but, like, at least Krusty the Clown's out on stage while your Sideshow Bob ass is fucking doing whatever and being a petty piece of shit.
I'm actually, like... that Hong Kong shit, man, that's just fucking so sad. That's just so wrong. Like, that's actually really wrong. That he's
So how do we end this? Like, how do we end this? What did we learn from this?
I don't know. I don't know how we end this, right? Because it's... Like, again, Jerry Freeman has shitty opinions about stuff and we mock him for it, right? What the what? It's like... He's actually done something in this video that I actually find kind of morally reprehensible, right? In a sense. And it's an argument that I've seen a lot before. Of, oh, well, why don't you care about this thing that I find important, even though, like, why don't you have priorities and shit? Like, fucker, we do have priorities. We do talk about the Hong Kong protests. We do talk about Funimation being incompetent fuckwits. You know? Your petty fucking YouTube drama clout-chasing bullshit, right? Is not fucking... It's not fucking on the same level, right?
Please subscribe to our channel.
Please subscribe to our channel.